Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Friday night. You know that. We know that. We're here for yet another episode. An interesting episode, I'd say. I'm here with Alex and Joba. How you guys doing? Hi, KG.
Doing well.
Pretty good.
Giovanni has been at home sick playing the Elden Ring DLC. And he's unfortunately caught mono, so he won't be returning to work for quite some time. I would say, what have you been watching? But I'd imagine just these movies and then waiting.
Yeah, that's really about it.
Which I can understand. I mean, I'm not against that. I get it. What about you, Alex? What you been watching?
Nothing, man. I've been doing a lot of stuff all week long, helping my father out and shit. So
I haven't watched it yet, but in the Voodoo,
I saw
Boy Kills World is there.
That's what you want to see.
I was gonna download it to take to camping, but I know nobody's gonna want to watch it. So
I think it looks awesome. I hope it's good. I bought it kind of on a whim because it does look cool. I think it looks tremendously better than the Crow reboot that he's in. I almost feel bad that he's in the Crow reboot. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't mind him at all. I think he's a pretty good actor.
Doesn't it seem like there's a curse with the Crow movies though? Like the sequels.
So here's something like that all these fucking nerds online keep talking about that's really starting to get on my fucking nerves. And it's like, why is everybody against it? The Crow had terrible sequels. Well, let's talk about the sequels. First off, did any of them go to theaters? The answer to that is no. They were all direct-to-DVD bullshit. One of them had fucking fat John Connor in it. One of them had Iggy Pop as the villain. They were awful. And, people didn't like them, but the reason why nobody talks about it is because nobody fucking watched them, because they were awful, right? The problem that I'm seeing with the Crow reboot, just from the footage they've given, is you took a dark, seedy, alleyway, Devil's Night movie, like the Crow isn't John Wick. The Crow should be haunting these guys, hunting them, making them almost like Batman, where they have to fear him before he kills them. That's kind of his MO. And it just looks like they took out all of the darkness and all of the mysteriousness and mystique and just that whole feeling of the character. And they made a John Wick ripoff. I mean, the end of the trailer looks like a ripoff of John Wick and Scarface. Just the scenery. He's in a giant mansion, wiping out dude after dude. Like, it looks awful. It just looks fucking terrible. And I'd have to imagine it'll do horribly, and you'll see it on one of the streaming networks within 30 to 45 days of its theatrical.
Doesn't he also, he actually dies, but then he comes back to life when his body reanimates or some shit?
But that was the other thing in the original, right? Like, even in the trailer, he's over here stabbing swords through himself and killing this guy and acting like it's nothing, right? Meanwhile, in the original, when he gets injured, think about when he first injures himself and cuts his hands. And he looks at his hands kind of like, oh shit, as they heal.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Lee's performance, whether you liked him or not, was amazing. I mean, they're literally lighting him up with pistols, and he's like, ha ha ha, and then falls over.
But there was something about that Crow version, though. He still felt the pain, though, even though he was... Yes. He still felt it.
Yeah, he did. And he also had that connection to the Crow itself.
Yeah.
You know, so like the new one, and that's the another thing is I don't even think in the trailer they show any. I think they might show a crow, but they don't show any sort of connection. And like,
Yeah.
you're right, he still very much felt the pain. It's just he was kind of invisible. But he's like Wolverine. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, he still found a way to fucking put fear in people.
And yeah, dude, that's what I'm seeing from the trailer is that my biggest issue it is just missing the entire atmosphere that made the original so good. The whole darkness, the whole, he's not the Terminator. He can take damage and heal, but besides the end of the movie, and even by the end of the movie when he's fighting the guy on the roof, he's very fucked up. He's very beat to shit.
Speaking of Terminator, did you see that Universal did a 3D version of the battle scene with the Terminators, the Liquid and Arnold, and they brought back everybody. They brought but it's actually on the future. But they brought back Ed Furlong, Arnold, what's his name? The Liquid guy?
Yeah, but what Liquid Metal, Robert Patrick,
and Linda Hamilton.
What scenes?
They just did a 3D version of it for their thing over there. And I think they used anti-aging for everybody. But the battle's taking place like in the future when all the the robot Terminators are fucking stomping shit. And
I honestly don't know what you do with Terminator. I don't, because I mean, first and foremost, you got to get rid of Arnold. You got to get him out of the franchise. You got to reboot it completely. And here's the thing. I think Terminator Generations, or whatever the one that had the Game of Thrones chick in it, I thought it wasn't a terrible Terminator movie. It really wasn't a bad action movie. The last one I thought was
Sarah
silly.
Chronicles.
I thought, well, that's a TV show. I thought the last Terminator was silly, where the one that killed John Connor had no other programming, so it was just kind of wandering the earth. That's the fucking storyline of how old Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, is in the movie. He kills John Connor in the beginning of the game, or beginning of the movie, has no other directive, and just wanders the earth until he eventually starts developing not kind of emotions, but starts to, learn. Yeah, I don't know what you do with it. You got to get rid of Schwarzenegger. Do you even keep this? I mean, you got to keep the same overall storyline, right? Of like, it's essentially good versus evil. AI is not, all right. AI is more prevalent now more than ever. I gotta say this. Can we stop calling what we're using AI? It's not. AI learns. None of this that your Chat GPT, none of it's learning off of anything. Our version of AI we have is nothing more than a program coded to search Google really fucking fast. It's not AI.
Facebook Meta does have an AI though.
It's coded programming. It's not AI. It's a false flag term.
They're using it to learn everybody's shit through their images they share and all the stuff they search.
But the whole artificial intelligence, what you're seeing now has no intelligence to it. Proof in the pudding of that is Google's AI being racist against whites because the programmers had bias when they programmed it. None of it's true AI. None of it is actual intelligence. It's code that people are writing. So it's not AI. It's basically really fast searching Google databases. That's why, like people are like, well, AI man in 10 years. And it's like, when does that AI get here? Because right now, this is just people programming code. It's not AI. There is no intelligence. It isn't learning. And by the way, stealing people's data is not fucking learning. That's stealing data. The big difference. Google, Chat GPT. Isn't that a big thing in schools now? Professors trying to fucking stop students from using Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Didn't they used to have services where you could pay for things though? Wasn't there like hey, tell us what it's about, blah blah blah. Now those services are probably just using some form of AI bullshit. Like it used to be beat up the nerds and make them write your paper, and then now it's like, I'll just use ChatGPT and get a C minus. Hey man, 6 out of 10. We are here to review 2 movies. One movie is called Under Paris, and one movie is called Troll Hunter. I am going to decree we should do Under Paris first, mainly on the grounds of I fucking hated it. KG says they don't stop it now. They say you have to cite, and it's easy to spot because repeated phrases. Oh, okay. Okay. So, like, basically, if you run it through ChatGPT, you better have proper sourcing. Otherwise, the whole thing's thrown out.
Also, you have to proofread your shit before turning it in. That's probably the smartest thing to do.
How stupid and lazy do you have to be to go to ChatGPT and be like, hey, tell me about underwater waves and blah, 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 whatever you're studying, and just hand it in? Like, how stupid. Like, even in the old school days when you were just copying out of the book, you'd read the sentence and be like, all right, my own words.
Yep. I could take this sentence and this sentence and turn them around.
Yeah, yeah. And like, here's some bad grammar just because that's how I talk. And then it's not out of the book. Like, there used to be an art to flubbing it. And now it's like ChatGPT.
I still used to get marks off for that, even for putting it in my own words. They said that I was copying it word for word. I was like, no, that's not what it says.
Well, it's also
it's not word for word.
I don't give a fuck about what you want me to learn because it's literally in a textbook. You give me the source material right here, and you expect me to use this as the source material. And then when I use it as the source material, I'm the asshole.
Yep.
It's literally the old school, like, bully makes nerd write paper, and it's Biff, right? I can have time to put it in my own words, butthead. It's just ChatGPT is now Biff. Or no, the students are now Biff. ChatGPT is McFly, yeah. It's fucked up. All right.
I've seen some pretty bad ones, KG said.
I can imagine. I don't know. I don't know if I could be in school right now. Straight up, there's 2 things that nowadays I don't know if I could do, and that's schooling and dating. If I had to go back to either, I don't know if I could.
Well, one of the weird things, just with my kid being in college right now, she says that they have tests and stuff online, and they don't even have to go in. So why not do all the fucking schooling online? They can stay at home. They don't have to go to the fucking big ass universities.
Do you want the answer because you're paying it right now out of your fucking pocket. Because then they get the lunch schedules, they get the dorm fees, they get administration fees, they get on-campus blah, blah, blah fees. Why do you think Lane Tech freshman year you couldn't go off campus for lunch? Because they wanted every single student they could that had to pay for that shitty lunch feeding into the cafeteria system. They still charge the same price. Yeah, well, that's bullshit. That's the whole thing. Is it's just like I think if it's pure online, there should be something. Or maybe the school has to provide equipment. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's got to be some sort of give and take. You know what I mean? Like if you're pure online, the school should provide something.
One fucking school for all of the U.S. and then everybody's learning the same shit. It's not going to be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty disillusioned with schooling in general nowadays, just because of all the agendas and PC bullshit and everything else.
I think college is a scam. I think it's always been a scam. It's just a moneymaker. That's it. You work in the real world, and unless you come from like Harvard and they take you just because you have a degree, the person with experience is going to beat you out every time.
I'll tell you
Trump
right now.
Even dip his hand in the schooling?
I'll tell you right now, me and my bachelor's degree says fuck you. No, I 100% agree with you. I think okay, so KG says I shouldn't have to pay for the gym if it's an online. 100% agree. I think KG is in a situation where she's in advanced level education. But I think if you think that you're going to go to a college and get a bachelor's degree and come out with a bachelor's degree and then have a career, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. I remember when I got out of college, and the reason I went into sales despite having a finance degree was when I started to apply in these sectors, I wasn't going up against bachelor's degrees. I was going up against MBAs. I was going up against people with actual accounting degrees. So like the idea of like, it used to be Homer Simpson, go to high school, get a job in your town, You can live like that forever. Now then it was go to college, get a bachelor's degree. You got a job waiting for you, sir. What is the advantage of going to a basic level bachelor's degree college anymore, as opposed to learning a trade?
One of our mutual friend, special ed, his kid just got back from college. He's done, and he fucking got his fucking degree in computer programming to make video games and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Can't find a job anywhere. He can't even get a job at his mom's place of work as an IT guy. I think they did put him in there, but it wasn't as IT. It's something else.
I mean, here's the thing, dude. A bachelor's degree nowadays, even in something like that, is going to net you data entry. It is what it is. Like, a lot of these kids are spending a lot of fucking money right now, and they're getting data entry jobs out of school. And these corporations are pieces of shit. I mean, they don't want opportunity, because opportunity to them equals expense. So they want college level people and all. I mean, doesn't matter what school you go to. The only thing a 4-year degree tells your employer is you did the same thing for 4 years and kept a routine and followed through on tasks that were given to you for 4 years. That's all it tells your employer at that point. You've got no experience in anything.
I feel like all it tells your employer is you want this job and you want more money for it because of this paper.
And that's the other thing is, it's like, we know you got a bachelor's degree and you spent this, how many thousands of dollars obtaining it, but this is the medium level of what we're gonna have you doing. So this is really as high as we're gonna go. And then more students get out of college with an inflated self-worth of like, oh, I've got a bachelor's degree, so therefore I should be making this. And it's like, you don't know the real world. You should have spent maybe a couple years, instead of getting that degree, learning a trade or seeing what was actually out there. There's nothing wrong with doing sales. There's nothing wrong with being a fucking electrician or a plumber. Those people make money, and everybody always needs electricity. Everybody always needs fucking toilets, at least in the first world.
You can't depend on robots to do those jobs very much.
No, when your pipe in your fucking house bursts because it's Chicago -23, there ain't no robot that's going to come into your house and fix that. And like, I understand that's not for everybody, but there's a lot. I mean, garbage men make bank.
And do you know it's like a fucking hard fucking secret society to get into?
Well, you're talking about Freemasons, basically. And I've actually read into some of that shit. Freemasons is a weird group. It's almost like they don't have real power beyond swaying unions, but it's a very exclusive nepotism style club of like, Victor told me that he is pissed at his father because his father was offered to join, but one of the things the Freemasons makes you do is swear allegiance to them above all else. And his father was a serious Catholic, and he wouldn't swear allegiance above God. So he never joined, which apparently, because his father turned it down, nullifies it for him. So if he wanted to join, he can't.
I have a friend who is in the Freemason, and he just brought his son into it. And I believe he's in social work. But he just brought his son into.
He's one of them.
Yeah, he just brought his son in, and he posts shit about it all the time.
That's the whole other thing is like Freemasons really, I don't know how much of a secret shadow society they are when it's like I see old black dudes getting out of Cadillacs with giant Freemason fucking things on their license plates.
Every time I see him like dressed up in their gear and stuff, I keep thinking of fucking Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble.
I always think of the
Grand Poobah, hoo-ha-ha, shit like that.
What was it, the iron cutters or stone cutters from Simpsons? where he joins the stone cutters and he gets to cut through traffic, and it's like paintings and carpeted and no traffic, and then he pulls into his parking space and it's still like right across by his house, and he's still got to walk all the way, but it was a nicer drive, Yeah, I don't know, dude. I would never join. I think it's weird. I think it's cult-like. Yeah, I don't know. I'm weary of all that shit, though. Like, like you could try to ask me to join like a book club, and I'm like, fucking what? Like who? Like I'm just weary of. I'm just weary of groups, and then you add your like the occult rituals to it, and then next thing you know, you're a Bilderberg in the woods wearing a fucking deer horn mask, around a fire, drinking fake blood. I can't be doing that shit. That's not me. Despite how I look, that's not me.
Dancing naked around the fireplace.
Definitely not me. Oh, there is a game. I don't know the name of it. I gotta find it. I saw a clip of it where like you go in and it's a first-person horror game, and you have a camera, and eventually you like make your way into the woods, and there's like these deer horn mask and this weird fucking looking dude around a fire, and you take a picture of it, and they all look up and notice you and start running. I don't know what it is.
You're a fire. You're a forest fire observer. Like you go out.
Oh man, I played that other one that wasn't horror related. Fuck, I gotta find out what the name of that is because it looks so
they're
neat.
Really good. That company that makes those games, they're really good fucking games.
It really looks neat. Just the idea of like, oh shit, they noticed me.
KG knows the game, but she doesn't know the name yet.
Yeah, I've seen several clips, but
he's standing observing he's looking for a fire.
It's like a ritual.
And you see a ritual cult, and you're on the phone with your partner, and he's like, "Hey, you should take a photo for proof." And you flash, and they all look at you.
Yeah,
and you're like, "Oh shit, they saw
and
me."
Then you literally see them scampering towards you. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it looks neat. It's a type of thing where like,
oh wait, wrong thing.
It's a type of thing where like, if you're a fan of horror, it looks neat. But if you're one of those people that gets super creeped out by that shit, probably shouldn't play it.
Dude, I love there's a compilation of people who can't handle that type of game playing it, and it's the best.
See, those games don't scare me, but they're fun. I like the horror element of them. I really do.
What does it cost to fucking get one of those monitors to check your heart rate and to post on online, or like when you're doing your streams?
Oh, I don't know. Dude, I ain't paying shit. I probably got high blood pressure. I don't need to be sharing that with the world.
There's people that post it on there when they're playing the horror games. They connect their heart monitor so that so you can see when it goes up.
That's all I need to be playing a horror game, and then everybody noticing that my heart monitor it just stays stagnant. That wouldn't be good. That would make me look like a fucking psychopath.
Or somebody would be noticing that it's like got an irregular, pattern
there's an irregular beat there. No,
you got some kind of a arrhythmia going there.
I've got an Apple Watch, sir, and I've used it to check for arrhythmia. So, a fuck you. There's a lot loaded into those little Apple Watches. A lot of random shit. One day I was going through the health section, and I'm just like, no shit, huh? Oh, okay. And it was like arrhythmia check. Might as well.
Like, I can check my pulse, but they also say don't take it as a gospel, like for doctor shit.
No, yeah, I mean, I think it can give you if it's consistent, right? Like if every day you check it when you first wake up and it's similar, it's not scientific, but it's going to be within a range, within plus or minus whatever. Shall we get into it?
Yes.
Go ahead and spearhead this one, Giovanni. The first one we're doing is Under Paris.
Under Paris. So Under Paris it's a foreign film. So you can watch it dubbed. Dub is terrible.
I believe it's Dutch.
But it's about a group of activists who are trying to save a species of shark. They're doing shark tracking. Things go sour. They fast forward. And then the same shark that the activists are tracking, another group of activists are tracking, and realize that the shark is in an area it's not supposed to be, in the heart of the city. And, people get eaten. There's some badass eating scenes in here.
I will say one good thing about the movie is the shark violence is pretty exceptional.
Yeah, it's also awesome.
The shark is growing abnormally fast.
Well, spoiler alert, by the end of it, it's not the same shark. It's a whole new species
it's a whole new species, of animal that's developing. And actually,
Sharknado.
I thought it was really interesting if you went through the credits, it's actually showing you how the shark. So as the movie ends, the ending is what it is. The credits roll, and if you're watching the map in the back, it's showing how they're spreading. And
I did watch the trailer.
Yeah, the last scene in the world is just like they're everywhere.
Yeah, I hated this movie. The ending in particular.
The ending. I understand where Matt's coming from. The ending is really where the ending should have been halfway through the movie.
Yes, because you know what? There's way too much like, Oh, my husband died because of me. Oh, I'm sad. Oh, policeman, you're hot. Oh, activists still being fucking stupid. Oh, there's a lot of just nothingness, right? Just nothing happens besides bullshit dialogue. You get one. The very beginning is one scene of okay shark violence. It's kind of neat. Then you don't get shit until 3/4 of the way through the movie. Finally, the movie picks up speed. The catacomb scene where people start getting ripped apart is really awesome. Badass. And then, of course, the scene in the waterway with all the triathletes. That whole scene's awesome. But the movie, to me, its biggest issue is right as I felt like it was getting going, it ended.
Yeah,
and that's a lot to ask from me when I didn't like the movie as is, and then it's like, holy shit, this is starting to pop off, and it's like, oh, guess what? It's over. And not only is it over, we're going to kind of fuck our life up with a sequel because we're just going to show you that everything's gone tits up now, and they're everywhere. And it's like, you can do a sequel, but it's no longer under Paris anymore now, is it? Like, you have a foreign film that can't be based in a foreign land anymore only.
Oh, Underworld, they can call it. Just
well, not only that, but then the two of the main characters are just left on a boat.
They're on a gazebo. They're on top of a gazebo.
Yeah. Paris has flooded, and they're just left there.
Oh, and by the way, these sharks also do not need a male. They can create their own fucking babies.
Yeah.
Hundreds at a time.
So the reason I wanted to review this movie is because it was compared to Jaws. It was supposed to be scarier than Jaws.
That it takes place in the water?
I don't find Jaws scary either, but I mean...
I don't either. Jaws is unsettling, but it's not scary.
No.
The Meg was awesome and unsettling, but not scary. You know what I mean? Like, but Jaws does a thing where it's like, it's all about the shark. These people are introduced. Their goal, get the shark. Save the people. And this movie is, there's a shark, but we're going to make it about the background stories of these people. And, oh, by the way, there's a shark. And I think that's where the movie fucked up.
We're also going to investigate this shark while we're doing it.
Yeah, that's the other thing is they just waste so much time pussyfooting around talking about this fucking shark. And, you know, you've got stupid quasi-romantic storylines. You've got the stupid activism storylines.
The stupid mayor.
And the corrupt mayor storyline. And none of it culminates into a good movie. Once again, the one thing I will say I like about this movie is the shark violence is done well. But everything else is a waste of fucking time. It's got a climate change message running through its backbone, which can suck a dick.
It starts right at the beginning,
And here's the thing. If the French oceans are that dirty, why don't you clean your fucking oceans, France?
Yeah, dude, that was India. Crazy.
Like, what point are they trying to make? Because to me, maybe this movie should be shown to the French government. And maybe that's why the mayor was such a piece of shit, because that was one of their points of, like, the French government's fault in the first place we have this.
It's catching baby whales.
The other problem with this movie is what? Everybody. Netflix pimped this out. Every shithead reviewer was saying how amazing it is, better than Jaws, and it wasn't. It's not a good... I know Giovanni liked it. For me, it's not a good movie. It is slow in all of the wrong ways. Shark violence in it.
There was one thing I liked about it. At the first 5 minutes, I was watching this with my wife and my oldest, and my wife was eating dinner, and we were watching, and in the first 5 minutes, that's when the first shark appears. My wife screamed so loud, she fucking threw her rice up in the air, and it went fucking flying everywhere. We had to pause the movie so she could clean up all the rice she threw all over the house.
I think she needs to maybe go on some Xanax.
Yeah. But that was the best part. That was the best part of this fucking movie for me.
I enjoyed the movie, I will say. But I like underwater movies. And it's funny because like underwater, like in video games and being over water in video games, it makes me nervous.
Did you know what I mean? 47 meters or whatever it's called?
But that was a good movie. I thought that was really good.
You remember that movie Open Water? That was terrible. Yeah. I didn't like it because so can anyone still explain to me why there was a random tit shot in that movie?
That made no sense. Yeah.
Like I've never watched the whole movie, so
Well, literally, the whole movie is, it's the story is eventually these two get marooned from their boat and they're just kind of floating in the ocean until they each basically get picked off here and, little by little. But midway through the movie, they're in their like hotel room and she's just shirtless.
Yeah, just randomly.
Even when I was younger, I was like, this seems weird for this style movie. Like, isn't this supposed to be a horror movie? Mm-hmm. Like, don't get me wrong. In my younger days, I wasn't really against nude scenes, but stupid is stupid. Like, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. And for me, a lot of this, and I don't mind, like, I think Deep Blue Sea did it way better than this movie.
Deep Blue Sea was a great movie.
Like, I think if you're looking for a good shark movie, sure, it's a little cheesy now by today's standards, but, an actual complete movie. Because for me, this movie isn't a complete movie. No. This movie is, we're going to end it midway, and we'll give you a bar graph. And then
it was almost 2 hours, and it ends with a fucking cliffhanger.
Well, I think they did. It's supposed to be a shark movie. They didn't spend enough time on the shark. That was the problem. You know what I mean? Like, the shark is your focus, especially if you're introducing a new species and strange shit is going on with evolution. Like, you want to focus on the shark.
Also, what the fuck is going on with France? Their oceans are fucking filthy. And their canal has nothing but unexploded mines in it?
That's a real thing, though. There's that, and there's also the cars and bikes that are in there. That's
Fuck
a real
France.
thing.
Fuck Paris. City of love my balls. You mean to tell me those things are under the canal water at any time, can go boom boom? And I'm supposed to want to go there as a tourist? Fuck that.
And also magnet fishing is a real thing too. Like it's a big popular thing.
I've seen a lot of those videos. Usually though, it's like those guys got to be careful because I've seen videos where they've pulled out handguns.
Yeah.
And the cops do not treat them well half the time. It's weird.
Well, you're supposed to call the police as soon as it happens, but they don't like them to be there doing that.
Yeah, but it's not illegal,
even if they have a permit. If they have a permit.
I've seen videos where they pull out mines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, dude.
Paris is extremely dirty. Probably now more than ever since the others have invaded.
Not as dirty as India.
Oh gosh. Well, that always made me kind of like, we always talk about America being pollution, and it's like I think America's fourth behind India, China, Russia, and then America, or it might be America.
I think India's number one. I think it's India, China, Russia, then us.
Look at any body
China
of
is
water.
with smog, isn't it? Isn't it like with like the air pollution?
China doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah, terrible.
That's why they really wear masks over there, is because they have a breathing issue.
Well, you're talking about the country that released COVID, so they don't give a fuck about anything.
That's why they wear the mask now. But
they made it in a fucking lab and then let it leak. Clearly, they. I'm sorry, but how is there not some sort of economic?
Wasn't that paid for by Americans though?
Oh, I'm sure. Just like the biolabs in Ukraine.
Wasn't Fauci part owner of that lab?
It's an American. It was an American lab.
I don't know about part owner. I think he's taking a lot of heat right now simply for his lies. I think what they're grilling him on now is the 6 feet thing. And the fact that what he was saying in public differs from the internal emails that they were sending out where he admitted things. And it's like, it is a joke, right? Like, I see people in public wearing masks. How do you not laugh at those people? Like,
still to this day, they're wearing.
I'll see somebody in their car driving alone with a mask on.
By themselves, yeah.
Honestly, the only people who should have masks on are doctors. And honestly, if you're sick, wearing a mask helps others around.
Like if you have cancer, but also like if you have cancer, you don't want to get anything, so you should be wearing a mask.
But here's my thing. If you're wearing one of those thin paper masks, you might as well be wearing nothing. It doesn't do anything. Shit transmits right through it. And that's why I think that's one of the things Fauci's taking shit for too, is the whole mask thing. Because he said, you got to mask these children and blah, blah, blah. And then his internal communications were like, if it's not a KN95, it's not doing anything anyways.
Did you ever see the video of people actually swimming in pools with masks?
Idiots.
Going underwater, and it's fucking up your breathing. Like, what are you doing?
Idiots. Idiots. Just like there's all these videos of like Karens, right? But it's so cringe because it's the Karen is the person that is flipping out and losing their mind because they refuse to put a mask on. But it's equally as cringe on the business's part to require a mask. Like, now that we're a couple years removed from everything, it's fucking goofy, no? Like, the whole concept is just, it's goofy. Like, if you have a serious illness, sure, wear a mask, but wear a real one. You know, these paper ones do nothing. And then, like I said, you see these people in their cars by themselves wearing masks, and it's like, people like that is why humanity dies sooner than it should. That's goofy. It's fucking goofy. Sorry if you're going to call me an anti-masker. I wore one when I had to. Wasn't a fan of it.
If it was required for me to go into a place, I'd do it. Just because, you know, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? Fucking 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Fine.
Well, I wasn't going to be a dick about it. So, you know, I wore a mask. And when I went into Sam's Club, I wore a mask when I had to do shopping and stuff. But if you thought I was going to
walking down the street,
no. And if you thought I was going to get into my car and keep that fucking mask on, you're retarded. Because it wasn't fucking happening. Like, I complied with that. I played your little game just so I can actually go about in society, because they made it where, you couldn't get a cup of coffee without a mask for a year and a half, 2 years. You couldn't go to Starbucks without a mask or they'd kick you out. My youngest
kid was the first one to get COVID out of all of us. And she would come out of it was just me and her, like everybody else would be off work doing whatever they're doing. And she would come out of the room. She's like, "Oh, I forgot a mask." I was like, "I don't care." I was like, "Come out here." I was like, "I'm not going to force you to wear a mask in your own home." I was like, "I know you're sick."
You had COVID, right?
No.
Not yet.
I have.
I've had it twice.
My wife has had all 3 strands of COVID.
Your body just rejects that shit. You think it has anything to do with all the treatments and stuff you've gone through from younger age on up for your life?
From all the years.
I'm serious.
Maybe. I mean, I've also haven't been, like, when I was working in the airport, I had KN95 masks. We splurged to buy them.
Which is,
you know what I mean?
If you're truly trying to not be exposed or exposed, that's how. Yeah, Fabian had the OG COVID that made him shit his pants. He had the diarrhea COVID.
Giovanni, when we went to that concert, I think I had COVID that time. I think that I initially had COVID then. Because I was sick. I was sick as fuck. Remember, I couldn't even talk. My voice.
Yeah, I've never gotten it. I've gotten tests. I don't even have the antibodies. Like,
interesting.
I just don't have COVID.
Yeah,
I've gotten it twice, and I got to be honest with you, it sucks. But it's not something that's going to make me live my life in fear. That's silliness. I don't live my life in fear of the common cold. I'm not going to live my life in fear of a little bit worse common cold. I had the flu this year. That was worse than COVID.
Yeah, same thing. I had the flu and it was worse.
Like, I don't get it. What's up, Fabian, by the way, Mr. I shit my pants from COVID. I don't get it. And that's why that was another chord that this movie struck poorly with me, was the climate change message. And it's like, it's kind of preachy, but who are you preaching to? Because as an American, I'm seeing shitty French oceans, shitty French canals, shitty French mayor. Like, who are you preaching to? Because it's not the Americas.
One thing that is real about what they were showing at the beginning is all the debris and shit that comes from all over the world is pooling in a certain part of the ocean, and it does look like that, but it's not that fucking huge.
Why can't we light it on fire?
There's a spot where it does pool. Yeah, I think because of the sediment, like it'll go down.
No, I'm being real. How come we couldn't just gasoline the top layer of that part of the ocean and burn it all? At least get rid of what you can. Or if it's that big of a problem, I think it is a fair question to ask, why is nothing being done?
We have
the biggest
giant
problem now
skimmers.
is the microplastics. That's the biggest problem.
Well, they're
now.
finding microplastics in men's semen or their testicles at this point. So we're halfway there to robot. They are cleaning it up. See, if you watch this movie, it makes it seem like nobody's doing anything. It's desolate, and the oceans in France are just fucking don't go swimming.
Is it 2 boats, KG, or is it just one boat that passes through and does their own skimming?
It's the same concept as the Godzilla movie, where it's 2 boats with the wire in between them.
Yeah, with the wire.
The CG in this movie, mostly good.
Yeah, it was pretty solid in most parts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't think the CG was bad at all. I thought the sharks for what they were looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see more of the real, like, like when she had the shark on the table and she opened it up, like more actual, physical.
Even when people were getting fucking limbs lopped off by the sharks, it looked pretty cool when they were pulling them out of water. Yeah. It actually did look realistic, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, like that's the kind of the shittiness of this thing is it's the shark violence itself is well done, and it's fast, it's frantic, and it's violent. Looks like you're both talking to the same person.
Sorry, my family's leaving right now.
No, you're good. But for me, everything else about the movie falls very short. The ending is one of the worst endings I've seen in a long time in a horror movie. I truly hate this ending with a passion.
Well,
and we spoke about this before the podcast started. To Matt's point, there are no likable characters. The woman whose husband dies,
Sophia, yeah.
I just couldn't feel sorry for her.
Question:
her behavior, her action moving forward, like.
So at the beginning, everybody's fucking dead except for Sophia and the girl in the boat.
Yeah.
And then after it goes to the cut where she gets dragged off, the girl in the boat's all of a sudden dead. Like what happened? They never showed anything, did they? Or did I miss it?
Isn't that's the same chick that was working with the activist chick later on?
Ben?
What?
Her name was Ben. There was Micah, which is the one that fucking I hated.
I didn't pay attention to any other fucking names because I hated them.
There was Ben that was the hacker.
The one girl that was on the boat with her is one of the girls that's working with the activist. That's the connecting tissue.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that again.
Or maybe it was the activist girl that was on the boat with her.
Because I thought that girl was completely different from the two that they showed that are part of the activist team.
No, I'm pretty sure she was connected to the original team, and then she was working with the activists because they were still doing this. Remember, it was the same technology they had with the marker on the shark.
Well, she said, "How did you?" She goes, "How did you track it?" She goes, "We hacked into it. We found a way to pull it online."
And that's that was reactivating it after she deactivated it. But they still have the same marker for. And that's the other thing is they don't tell you how long it's been from the beginning of the movie to when we catch up with the characters either.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she now has nosebleeds and her hair is shorter. I didn't like her. I thought it was her fault that everybody died in the beginning. Because it was.
There was no shark cage. Yeah, there was no, like, who dives like that?
Yeah, well,
and then the minute...
who dives like that? Silly activists.
If you're water people, you've been doing this for years, you know how to handle sharks, I'll give you your professionalism. So if you're under there and you see a shark coming at you that you knew has grown 2 to 4 times its size in 3 months, get the fuck out of the water.
Bye.
Like, that's the worst part is even her husband's like, we need to get out of here. Like, this thing's huge.
And she's like, no, we need a sample.
Going on.
And yet she was like, no, we need to tag
she tells him we need a sample. And it's like, you do realize that means he's going to stab this giant fucking shark, right? And it's like, you got your husband murdered. Congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah, and 3 other people.
Well, she did get her ring back, so that was a good thing.
Yeah, off of his severed limb. Yeah, I just, for me, this one was, and then just for a technical point of view, fuck Netflix. I watched the dubbed with subtitles. And
I was forced to watch it that way too.
The language.
I watched it a traditional language with subtitles.
So how close were the subtitles to the traditional language? Or well, you can't know.
You don't know. Yeah.
The dubbing was so far removed from the subtitles at points. Like there's this scene where he's telling her about him being in the army, and the dubbing is like, it's like, because I left them behind. Meanwhile, the subtitles like, because I'm a coward.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird that in most of the scenes, Netflix has completely fucked up this translation, that the dubbing is completely different sometimes to the subtitle, to where if you're trying to read it and watch the movie with the dubbing at the same time, you're not getting the same dialogue at all. So I just started reading the subtitle, presuming that the dub track was just wrong. That whoever did it was just fucking wrong, and they were drunk on wine when they did it. Because they're fucking French, probably.
The voice actors are taking liberties. a little too much liberties.
I think it's once again Netflix being just shitty.
Yeah, they're
being
just
shitty and lazy.
Their localization team is fucking horrible. It's and to Alex's point, it's a lot of localization people taking liberties with the way they want to sound. And I watched it dubbed for the first 30-45 minutes, kind of reset. And yeah, dude, they don't know how to portray emotion in their voice, like based on what they're saying on screen. It's pretty bad.
And
I was gonna watch it normal,
native, but it was the French, and I was like, oh, fuck them.
I was gonna watch it normal too, just to read the subtitle, but I was outnumbered, so I had to watch it.
I just couldn't believe how much the native or the subtitles, which I'm presuming is native track or closest to the actual native language track, differed from their botched fucking dubbing they had. Garbage. Garbage. There was so many lines they changed in the dub that changed the entire feeling of the scene. Like specifically the scenes where he's kind of telling her he's shameful because he was a coward in the military and went AWOL. It was the weirdest thing, and I honestly hate Netflix and their fucking dubbing now. I really do. It's just like Hulu. If you're gonna watch a movie on Hulu and you have the opportunity, use the Disney Plus app. That's your best fucking bet. If there's a new thing on Hulu and you've got that bundle, Disney Plus app is the way to go, because the Hulu app is fucking shit. It's okay, and that's the other weird thing about the Hulu app is it varies. Like the Xbox Hulu app's audio is way better than the Apple TV's Hulu app audio. It's just fucking stupid, and they're all supposed to be the same track.
I'm stuck using them as separate entities because I get Hulu for free through my phone provider.
That's what happens when you're a basic bitch, Alex.
Yep, I ain't paying for shit if I don't have to. I'm okay with commercials.
Got spoiled with no commercials, so yeah, fuck that.
I'm okay with commercials.
I don't fucking do commercials anymore. I don't do it. In fact,
at least
Prime pisses me off because it's like, hey, just watch this minute-long commercial and then, you don't have to watch. It's like, I shouldn't have to fucking watch this.
At least especially Prime. In the beginning, Peacock still does like in the middle of fucking movies.
Yeah, I pay for Peacock, so I don't get the commercials.
I've never had that.
Yeah, it does it in the middle.
But Prime, we shouldn't have to. As much as we're paying for fucking Prime and for fucking Prime Music because it's separate, I shouldn't have to fucking pay that much for Prime Video.
I don't pay for Prime Music.
I do pay for Prime Music because, yeah.
Spotify,
you pay for that or you get it for free?
I pay for it.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing: is when I was a kid, dude, like when I, with my little Walkman and my CDs. One of the things that Giovanni's going to murder something on off screen. one of the things that would always come to my mind, where it was like, man, can you imagine having every fucking song you owned, and then iPods came out and made that a possibility, and now things like Spotify, Prime Music, Apple Music have changed the game to where it's like, holy shit, I have every song ever made in my phone. Yeah. Like, I can listen to anything. And I know,
and then if you're an artist,
but I think the simplicity and the, if I can throw in my headphones and go, oh shit, I haven't heard Stone Sour in a while. Let me listen to this track. I haven't heard, oh shit, I haven't listened to Raining Blood in a while. I could hopscotch around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One thing though about Spotify versus Amazon and all them, they do have it's very similar to like Netflix and Hulu and what they do share. Copyrights, so they have to go to that other place, for a while. So Amazon loses rights for like a year and a half, and then they get it back later.
Apple Music apparently has lossless audio, and which is very high quality audio. And now Spotify is introducing their own version of it, but I think it's like $5 more a month. I haven't looked into it though. But if you are a technophile who has really great headsets, might be great headsets and a fast internet connection, might be worth listening to a lossless audio track of just pure, clean digital loveliness.
Yeah, I pay for the lossless on Spotify, but I only listen to it at home because my really nice headphones, they don't leave this fucking house.
Yeah.
Those are
the type of headphones where it's just like, no, these
they left one time, and it was when my wife took them.
Oof.
And this is when I worked in the airport. I literally told my boss, I was like, I will be back. You can write me up for whatever. And he's like, why? I was like, my wife just took my $1,000 headphones.
I was going to say, your
out of
headphones
the
cost
house.
more than a PS5.
And he's like, oh, the shirt? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, no, go ahead. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be right back. And I went to her job, grabbed them, took them back home, and then went back to work.
Are they the over the ear or the earbuds?
No, they're the ones they use on stage. The in-ear.
Oh yeah, the fucking They're like they think they call them monitors.
Yeah, they're monitors. They sound great. But I was like, she's like, I can grab any of them, right? And I'm telling her, no, not these. And
is
she
it the
did it anyway.
Is it the interchangeable Sures? The ones you
it's the 846. So they have a subwoofer.
Oh,
nice.
the metal casing inside around it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, those are serious drivers in those motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you can change that shit too whenever you want.
Those are the type of headsets you do pay the extra for lossless audio with.
Yeah, I do. I do pay for it.
All right.
And then Giovanni listens to podcasts.
Yeah, not on Spotify. Spotify's podcast system is horrible.
I know. I'm just saying.
Just think about how crisp and clear it is.
You can hear the voice and you can hear the bass in all their voices.
Yeah. Oh, I think I heard him fart. Here we go. Chicago Dog Reviews.
Told her to open the door.
Alrighty. First review of the night, Under Paris. Let's let Giovanni spearhead this one.
I love shark movies. I actually like underwater movies. Anything with underwater creatures, mysteries. Sharks are the coolest. Jaws is one of my favorite.
What about the Titanic?
I know, right? I still think Jaws. I know people compared this to Jaws. Jaws is still the better movie, in my opinion, for sure.
Better
this
overall
is
movie.
Oh yeah. This is a shark movie where they introduced too many human stories into, and they're about characters you give a shit nothing about. Like you can't relate to any of them. You can't. And then this movie does a thing where it's like, let's show you activists. Let's show you the climate change argument. All this movie made me want to do is hate activists more.
Oh yeah, especially when they're in the fucking catacombs.
Yeah, that's all. That's it.
That was actually one scene I liked because I got to see them all fall in and get fucking shot.
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah.
Like that was one scene where I was like, yeah, finally, fuck these people. Woo! Like I was
they're all out there with their fucking cell phones filming everything, and all of a sudden they see one person died, like, oh shit.
The mayor in this movie for me was just too much. Just too much of a corrupt idiot.
That catacomb?
Not only corrupt, but I felt like the actress tried too hard. Or maybe it was just the dubbing.
No, she was awful. The actress who played her was awful.
That catacomb scene, the part where they're all sitting there with the phones, it made me think of Men in Black. I think it was Men in Black 2, when he's trying to get everybody to move away from the train, when the big ass worm is chasing him. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, now you see a fucking big worm. Now you want to run." And that's what it made me think of when the sharks started killing everybody.
How much better would Men in Black have been if it was rated R?
Oh, so much better.
Fucking awesome.
I mean, I like Men in Black, but if it had been rated R, that'd have been awesome.
Yeah.
Especially the number 2 when they had what's his name at the beginning, the Tick guy, the guy who played the Tick.
Oh yeah, when he wants to leave.
Yeah, if they would have had him rated R, with his acting. I think even Will Smith, I think he can be really good like that.
So he's having a resurgence. Everybody's talking about how are people over the slap? And like, here's the thing, right? The slap to me just showed me how weak of a man that guy really is. Like his whole slap was just one of the biggest bitch moves I've ever fucking seen, and I've lost all respect for the guy. Does that mean I can't enjoy his movies? No. I look forward to when Bad Boys 4 hits digital streaming somewhere. I don't hate him. I just feel like like as a man, his whole slap was just a big bitch move. It just showed he was, he's right back in school going, "Don't talk about my girlfriend that way," even though they were already separated for months at this point. He's already got himself some new bald-headed bitch he's been seen with. So like, it was just pathetic. It is what it is. But does it mean he necessarily needs to have his career ruined? No, I think his humiliation he's received is a pretty big payment he's had to dole out.
Mhm.
Like he has to now be like he's through his movies he's got to be taken seriously again because nobody takes him seriously in real life. And to his credit, he has been doing a lot of good PR, showing up at movie theaters to watch, randomly be in the screening with people, shit like that.
What was that one? What was it? Hulu, I think, with James Franco about the Kennedy assassination. Was it 1946 or something like that?
I didn't watch it.
Well, there was a little series that he did that was really fucking good. He was really good in it, but he was still a piece of shit because that whole thing about him came out, how he was, and I don't like him for that shit, but I still liked what he did in that fucking TV show.
I don't mind James Franco. I don't understand how people are surprised that he's a sex fiend. I don't understand how people at this point don't just assume everybody in Hollywood is a fucking sex fiend.
Oh, yeah.
Like, have money and power, will use it to get pussy. Like, that's the whole, and not the your stereotypical guy. That's the whole reason they want money and power. Sorry, it is what it is. You don't become a rock star because you don't like pussy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't become an actor because you're not a narcissist and you don't like you know what I mean? Like, whatever your flavor is. Look at that Sam Smith demon that does concerts. You don't get in. You for one thing, every politician and actor by default's a narcissist. They have to be. That's part of the job. But if you really think these people don't strive for more power and more money so they can take advantage of other people, you're a fool. I mean, even The Rock with his doing fucking 10 different, like, oh, I've never had In-N-Out burger. Like, they've caught him with that, where he's done it several times trying to act like it's his first In-N-Out burger. Rob Schneider trashed Will Smith. What he said was right, I believe, too, about how he was a piece of shit and basically he was a small man. And that's true. But Schneider was actually, in that interview, says he was on the Oscar committee that had to kind of decide what the fuck to do about it. I don't know. I don't hate the guy. I think he's a bit pathetic. Does that mean I won't watch Bad Boys 4? No, I'm interested in Bad Boys 4. I want to see it. It is what it is. You're not gonna
bad boy for life, right?
I mean, have you seen Martin Lawrence in him though? He just keeps getting puffier, and he just looks so fucking confused in every scene. Just what are we doing? That guy needs to maybe consider retiring. Just sitting on his money and being happy because he looks terrible.
Yeah.
Every time you see him, he gets closer to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah. Yeah, and the last person that I saw that looked like that died today. So, my aunt died today.
Oh.
Don't feel bad. She was a piece of shit. And she looked like that. It was called psoriasis. I think for him, he's just enjoying his life. I think he's just,
that aunt?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I hope the home that she was living in collapses and the demonic pit below it swallows everything.
What was it? Drag Me to Hell?
Yeah. Yeah, it couldn't have happened to a better person.
We need to do Drag Me to Hell. We'd never done that.
That is, I remember seeing that in theaters, and Sam Raimi must have had a fucking contract with theaters, because that audio they played in that movie was ungodly loud. I mean, it was great.
I've never seen it in theaters. I watched it at home with my wife.
No,
it was great.
Theater you went to, the volume was insane for that movie.
Like the scene in like the library where the demon finally makes his presence, and was that scene like? Even if you don't get really jump scared, because of how loud it was, you were getting jump scared. In that movie.
Worst scene was when he falls in the tracks and gets dragged down.
Yeah.
That fucking train going by. Oh my God.
It was like the only other movie that I can remember I've seen that was as that loud as that was Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat was.
I remember when Mortal Kombat, when it literally jump scared me before the movie even starts. Where at the very beginning it goes Mortal Kombat, and it's just fucking the whole theater, and then the song kicked in. But I'm sitting there like, hey, Mortal Kombat, yeah, you can't wait to watch it. And then it's like, oh fuck, because it was that loud, dude. The scene where they're on the boat and Raiden shows so fucking loud, dude.
Yeah,
so loud. Those are the two movies I've seen in theaters where even I was like, it's a bit loud, no? Like, it's a bit much. One when I was a kid, and then Drag Me to Hell, I wasn't a kid, but I'm sitting there like, this is really fucking loud, guys. Like, Apple Watches didn't exist, but I guarantee the decibel fucking issue on the watch would be going off if you were in that theater.
Oh, it does decibels too?
Oh yeah, I've gotten.
Fuck.
I learned that because I've got.
When my sister-in-law's baby cries, the watch goes, it's a little loud where you are. You don't want to damage your hearing, so
yeah,
get away.
I got really mad one day. I was going off, and then my watch is like 98 decibels. You should go to a lower or less loud environment. And I was like, oh, I need
it's me.
I looked at it like, all right, I need to stop screaming. My watch is telling me shit's popping off. It thinks I'm at a fucking concert.
Matt was turning into the fucking dad from Twisted Sister and shit. Fucking spit and fucking sweat.
No, I don't do that. My problem is I have an anger issue, and once it starts, it latches on to anything it can. Right? That's my personal anger.
Sounds like my wife.
Is like it's almost like a black hole of anger, where this is bothering me, but there's all these little things that I've held on to in the background.
Is it like the coronavirus thing?
Well, it's like a constellation. Like it starts here, and then it splinters here, and then this happened 2 weeks ago, but now it's fresh in my mind, so that goes here. And I'm not saying it's right. That's my own personal crazy. I think everybody needs to acknowledge their own personal crazy, and that's mine. I have anger issues with that, where it's just I harbor, and it also connects into the anxiety and depression and all that too. But yeah, no, one day I was just going off, and I looked at my watch, and my watch is like, you're being loud, motherfucker. And I'm like, all right, I'll quiet down. Sorry, Giovanni, continue with your hot dogs.
I'll give my score. I'm going to give this a 4.5. I enjoyed it for the shark portion, not for anything else.
Yeah, the shark violence, to their credit, really well done. The CG's not overly cheesy. Yeah. They did a good job on the shark violence, for real.
Mm-hmm.
All right. For me, I give this movie a 2. The only thing I think is good about it is the shark violence. The ending, above all else, really pissed me off because it really just starts to feel like the movie is just getting going. You know, we're going to have a hell of a fucking time. They're on this gazebo. How are they going to get off this gazebo, man? They're surrounded. And then it ends. And there's been one other movie in my life that I've watched in a theater that happened. It was a movie called They. And the movie literally ends where the whole time it's this interdimensional ghost movie. She makes her way into the next dimension. You're like, oh shit, she's there. It's going to get real. And it ends. And I don't make noise in a movie. I'm not a clapper. I'm not a talker. I sit there, I watch a fucking movie, and I either like it or don't. This is one of the few movies where I openly was like, what the fuck was that? And people around me laughed because they were thinking the same fucking thing.
Is that the one with Nicole Kidman or no?
No, there is a blonde. I think it is a blonde.
Oh no, that the other one was called. It was called The Others. That was okay. Never mind.
Confuse those two.
I've never seen They, so I was just trying to, because Others and they're one word title.
Save your time. You don't want to watch They.
No, okay.
No, because it's one of those movies that it's just.
I'll remove it from my queue then, because I do have it there.
It's all fucking build up, and then it finally hits, and it's like, wait, that's it.
Isn't it a director that did like a group of movies like that, or no?
It came out in 2002, dude. I haven't thought about it since then. That was back in my. I'm gonna go take a walk, and go see a $5 movie at the local theater. I used to like going to movies by myself. I mean, most of the time we'd go with buddies. Lewis would go, Giovanni would go. We'd have other people that go. Every Sunday we'd go see a movie. But I didn't have any problem. One movie I did have a problem that I saw in the theaters by myself simply because the movie was bad was The Marine. The movie was
the original
awful.
Marine?
Yeah.
Oh.
I saw iRobot by myself as well. Great movie. I like that movie
I did
still to
too.
this day.
iRobot was
I've
great.
only watched one movie by myself, and the subject of the movie is stupid, but it was a better movie than what everybody else went to go see that day of the movie. I went and saw Cruel Intentions by myself.
That
And
is a bit of a weird movie to see by yourself.
but the whole group I was with, they went to go see another movie that was fucking complete garbage. So I was happier seeing that was, a pretty decent movie versus what they went to see, which was garbage. I can't remember what it was, but it was released around the same time as Cruel Intentions.
One of my favorite movie theater experiences, and I'll always cherish this, is Jen and I went to go see some rom-com, whatever the fuck was out. I don't know. I'd have to look to see what was out around the same time. But I had been talking about Paranormal Activity, and this was the first one where it was limited release. They, it really wasn't advertised where it was. And Jen and I get to City North, and it's there. And she looks, and I was like, oh shit, Paranormal Activity's playing here. And she's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And so she's like, you want to see that instead? And that was a big thing because she's not a horror movie gal. So for her to not only give up whatever fucking movie we were going to see to go see this movie, which I really wanted to see, was a big deal for me. There's a few things in our relationship. Like the first time she helped me buy a TV. It was like the first time anybody helped me do anything. And it was like, why are you doing this? That whole thing of just like, why are you being nice to me? As a child of abuse, I guess I had to get used to it. And now I take it for granted.
My wife still claims to this day that I tricked her into buying me a 65-inch big screen TV. Remember that big one that I had that we would watch?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that wasn't even the case. We went there with my father because he was shopping at ABT, and she said I tricked her into getting that TV for us. And I was like, no, I didn't. I was looking at TVs and I said, man, I would love to have this TV one day. And then she said, okay, let's see if we could get approved for credit. I was like, okay. And we did. The
TV that she helped me buy was our TV for years. And then we upgraded and it went into the kitchen here. And it eventually died.
Oh.
And I'm so sad that it died. I still haven't thrown it away. I still just got it kind of sitting there. And I know it's a very stupid thing to be sentimental about, but it's like, it truly is one of the, if not one of the first thing that anybody was ever like, hey man, I got your back. Like, I got $100. I'll put it, because it was a whole story about how my other TV got damaged. I had the warranty. I'm not going to go through the whole story, but I returned it. They didn't have the TV I used to have. All they had was this one that was $100 more. And she was like, I'll cover it. And it was like, what? You will? And so
we're just dating, right?
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. Like I said, growing up where not many people are nice to you, you look at her and it's like, why would you do this? Like, what are you doing? What's your game? One of those type things. And yeah,
and then Matt walked out and he's like, blowjobs and a new TV? Today's the best.
Matt jumped up and clicked both his heels at the same time.
Yeah. It really is. That is the weirdness of dating, right? It's like, wait a second. We just got a new TV and we're going to have sex later? Holy shit. Really? Really? Yeah, that's the weirdness of dating. Wow. I don't know what key I found to unlock this treasure, but fuck, this TV's got 120 hertz motion. Alex, your score.
It's real simple, man. It's a 2.5 only because of the fucking shark killing people.
Sharks.
I really,
Sharks.
Well, yeah, sharks. Yeah. Well, it's the same shark. Because it's
yeah, but I mean, it has so many of them that a lot of the scenes aren't even that shark tearing shit up. It's all its babies.
Which you see that when it's happening with the swimmers, when the fucking triathlon's going on. That's where you see it happening.
One scene they could have done so much better because they did it kind of cool, but they could have done it better. Was when he lights the flare and they're all swimming up.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we have got a scene from a faraway angle where he's floating and he lights the flare and they're surrounding him? Why couldn't, just from a faraway angle where it's nothing but the red glow and all these sharks and he's in the center, just kind of by him? Why couldn't, just so many missed opportunities there.
that scene too is another part where I was rooting for the shark when that guy saw the fucking the detonator sitting over there, and they told him don't move, and he fucking went for the detonator.
Also,
That
by the
motherfucker
way,
deserved to die.
how
and I
does the
loved it.
explosives expert fuck it up so bad? Everybody else is like, we did it fine, no problem. We're just regular Joe Schmoes. And he's like, hold on, give me minutes. It's like, what? What the fuck? You're the explosives expert. Like this bitch over here has done nothing but got her fucking husband and friends killed. And she set
fucking
the
put the bomb
C4.
together really fast.
You're the expert and you're fumbling. Yeah. Goofy. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but there was like those hit or miss scenes that when you were happy about the scene, it was because people were about to die or that people died. You know what I mean? And like Giovanni said, and you had said, nobody fucking cared about these characters.
To the
hated
opposite.
them all from the beginning.
I hated them. Yeah. Not only did I not care
Hated
about
them all
them,
from the beginning.
I was just waiting for them to die.
And like I said too, like the reason why it's 2.5 is because I get the 0.5 because when my wife saw that part happen at 5 minutes in, she fucking threw her rice. She woke up the next day when she took a shower and she said she found rice in her hair, and it fucking still made me laugh because we couldn't stop laughing for at least 10 minutes when it happened. So 2.5 for me, and I'm glad I'm never gonna watch this movie again.
Oh, never. I won't watch a sequel either.
If they come up with one, yeah, fuck that.
Well, that's the weird thing. The ending even kind of says, like, well, there could be a sequel, but don't plan on it. We're just showing you that the whole world's fucked.
Yeah, the whole world's being taken over.
Well, Netflix is doing this thing where they're trying to set up for sequels in the movies that they put money into. But you never see a sequel. So it's like,
Yeah.
Are they doing Army of the Dead? I can't remember.
I hope not.
With Bautista?
Oh, no, they did the Army of the Dead, and then they did that, it was the prequel that was like a straight, like heist bank robbing movie. So they had the zombie movie, and then they had the prequel to it, which was them robbing like a casino bank or some shit. I hated that movie so much.
So there was one? I
watch
gotta see. I don't know what that is. I gotta see.
Yeah, I didn't watch it because I hated the original so fucking much. I'm just saying,
Okay.
there is nothing about filmmaking techniques that make sense for you to have half of the gun blurred out. It's just stupid filmmaking, and just like his fucking Rebel Moon movies. It's like, oh, I got the rated R versions coming out, sexier, more violent, and it's like,
I have no different movies entirely.
Why release the PG-13 ones then?
Yeah, what was
like
the point?
I used to be a big fan of Snyder. Watchmen, I even like that movie.
Is he in control of it though to be released? I mean,
yeah, that's why there's two versions, because he was
okay.
like, I want to do a rated R version, and they're like, well, we want a PG-13 version, and he's like, well, I want to do one, so they're like, well, do a rated R version and a PG-13 version. Stupid. Oh, by the way, if you guys didn't know how much I hated Borderlands, between having the geriatric cunts being cast in there, all three of them, whether it be What's-Her-Face playing Firehawk, Jamie Lee Curtis playing in The Doctor, Gina Gershon playing the other one. Anybody see what it's rated?
No.
PG-13.
Okay.
What a fucking failure. Who wants to see that? Who wants to see a PG-13 Borderlands movie? There's no kids young enough that play Borderlands that want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's no fucking 12-year-olds out there playing Borderlands right now.
What's that one saying? Know your audience?
Yeah. Dude, Zack Snyder, or not Snyder, Eli Roth doesn't give a fuck. Him going, oh, there's nothing more badass than Cate Blanchett with a flamethrower. Yeah, there is. Literally anybody besides the probiotic bitch with a flamethrower.
So Eli Roth gets paid a lump sum for whatever he's doing. Do you think he gets a bonus if it makes more money? Because a lot of the stuff that Eli Roth does, it's kind of like borderline.
It depends on what his agreement is. I mean, I'm sure I'm sure he's got something in the back end that he gets some percentage of but who's gonna go fucking see this movie? You've got old bitches as the main characters, except for Evan Hart, right? And now
he's an old bitch though.
He's an old bitch too. So nothing but old bitches, and Jack Black is the robot.
Another old bitch.
And now it's rated PG-13. Why? Why wouldn't you? I mean, you're Eli fucking Roth on top of it, and you're making a PG-13 shitfest. It's gonna be awful. Awful. I'm not buying it. I don't care what the deal is. Only when it hits some streaming network am I gonna watch that horse shit of a movie. PG fucking. That's like when they named Blade was gonna be PG-13. And everybody was shit talking to me because I said a PG-13 Blade is a no-go. Fuck that. Everybody talks shit to me, and guess what? The movie's almost canceled. The director just left. They're now rewriting a script for it because nobody gives a fuck about PG-13 Blade and his stupid daughter. Especially not as the entrance into the actual Marvel comic universe. If you were smart, Blade will somehow be in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Little by little, they're going in the right direction with like Deadpool, and hopefully that this last one or this next one will be the same way. But the way they were doing it when they took over number 2, it was number 2, right? When they took over,
what?
Or were they in it from the beginning for Deadpool?
No, they didn't.
For the first one.
No, Marvel MCU didn't come into Disney and them didn't come into play until this one. Deadpool 1 and 2.
Oh, this one, okay.
Yeah, Deadpool 1 and 2 were both Fox.
Okay. So for them to do that, right now saying, okay, we're gonna go into the R-rated version of it, that's fucking cool.
Well, they need to.
It's also embarrassing because Marvel struggled so hard to get all their IPs back, with the exception of Spider-Man. Yeah. And now that you have them, you're just fucking ruining all of them.
Well, I mean, Spider-Man, I still like the.
Well, that newest but that newest Spider-Man was amazing. But that was because Fox wasn't handling it. That was Kevin Feige. The whole multiverse with it, and I mean, I think even if you, and I love Sam Raimi, but even if you look at the quality difference between the last Spider-Man and then Doctor Strange 2, Doctor Strange 2 is not nearly as good as a movie as that last Spider-Man was. That last Spider-Man had everything. It was a great movie. I don't think anybody can really talk shit about that. That was, for me, Endgame was the last great Marvel product, but that Spider-Man is good. It's like Endgame and that.
Also the writing for Spider-Man that they did in the Marvel movies, I like that too. Like how they wrote him into the stories. I like what they did with him. Everybody else in the Marvel universe, I was kind of like, we've seen too much of them already. But I like how they used him.
Well, then you've got issues in the Marvel universe for me of like, do I watch Black Widow or not Black Widow? The WandaVision? Well, the answer is no, because she's dead.
I like WandaVision, though. I liked it.
Sure, but the character doesn't exist anymore. And I already know that now. They killed her. What is the point of watching her show? All I need to do is I can go watch Doctor Strange 2 and see her die. And then, that's it. I don't need to know anything else. The character's gone. And I mean, if people really think I'm going to go watch that Agatha show.
Yeah, that one I'm not too fond of what's going to happen with that.
I'm concerned with Daredevil. I loved the Daredevil show when it was on Netflix. I don't have any faith in the new one. I mean, I understand they got Punisher coming back and they're bringing back Augie and them, but there is so much room for them to fuck up. The way Marvel's been writing, the way Disney's been writing, look at Star Wars Acolyte, it's all shit. I mean, Disney's Acolyte is basically a fuck white men, fuck fans of the lore. We're going to do what we want. We're going to distort what we want. And if you don't like it, we're going to gaslight you and call you incels and call you homophobes and call you misogynists. And that's the problem with Disney right now, because their little fucking fairy fans will call everybody that goes, this isn't Star Wars, this is bullshit. They'll call them incels and they'll call them misogynists. And it's like, no, you're taking lore and you're shitting all over it. These are fans of the George Lucas era that you're telling them to go fuck themselves. You don't care about them.
The main female actress and the director, they both were like talking about the Rotten Tomato score and the fan score. And they responded by saying, I think something along the lines of like, people are just mad because of strong female lead roles. And then they showed Rogue One, a Star Wars story and its Rotten Tomatoes score with a lead female role, and that is the best written Star Wars movie we've gotten in years.
In a while, yeah.
Yeah,
if I was in that room, I'd go, listen, bitch, I'm the generation of Sarah Connor. I'm the generation of Ripley. I'm the generation of actual strong females in movies. You're the generation of pandering to LGBTQ and your own feminist bullshit to the detriment of the lore, of the storyline. You want to go make this show? Go make it. Leave Star Wars the fuck out of it. Go make a fairy witch fucking tale.
Create your own fucking
bullshit.
story.
Yeah. Instead of shitting on it, what other people love, go fucking make something else. Because, like as Giovanni said, all they do is when people criticize, they shit on them. Oh, that's because they're incels or they're all these weak little boys. These weak little boys are the reason Star Wars, anybody gave a shit about Star Wars past Return of the fucking Jedi. And
they were the only people, they were the only people buying those fucking books that nobody else ever fucking bought.
I hate to tell you, it ain't these blue-haired fucking tanks out there buying the Death Star Legos for $200 fucking dollars. Okay? Let's get that fucking real. It's not the LGBTQ community that is going out there and spending buku fucking bucks on Star Wars shit. It's those same fucking men that you call incels because they don't agree with the direction you're taking the show and the lore. And you're going to shit on them.
There's a big group
fuck you if you're going to do that.
There's a big group of people that are, my age or older that supported that whole fucking Star Wars fucking universe by buying all those fucking stories from, like from the Scholastic book fairs and all that shit, where it was stuff that nobody ever fucking knew that there was more stories to Star Wars.
Yeah, like although there was so many books
the twin children of fucking, Luke and Han and fucking Leia's kids, that like they're just seeing part of this now.
Wasn't the character from Shadow of the Empire first shown in books? Like he was a character in a book from years. I mean, we're talking years ago at this point.
Probably.
I mean, that game came out in like 96 or some shit. It's old. It's older than I am, or almost as old as I am. I'm old.
I've read the first two original stories of Star Wars, and the movies don't fucking do shit for those books.
But then it's like people will question her, and it's like, I don't think our show is too queer. That's because you're writing it in your own fucking bias.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I don't care about don't write a product that people love if you're just going to shit on it. For whatever reason. For your feminism bullshit, for your fucking queer bullshit, whatever it is, fuck off. I don't want any part of it. Okay? These aren't strong, independent women you're writing. These are fucking feedbag sheep that hate me because I'm a white guy. So fuck off. I don't need to watch any of this shit. I'll sit behind the sidelines and watch it get ripped apart by everybody else and read descriptions of the episodes and go from there. IGN is doing their best to suck its dick. They're failing because all their comments on Facebook is like, or maybe they shouldn't shit on the lore.
My buddy's watching it right now, and I asked him, I was like, are you liking it? He goes, I'm not really fucking liking it. He goes, but I already started and I want something to watch, so I got to finish it.
You want to go watch a good show?
I'm like, okay.
Go watch The Bear. Fuck Star Wars season. So I didn't realize this. I just got into The Bear, and I powerhoused through season 1 and season 2, and I was kind of bummed out. And then I realized season 3 premieres next fucking week.
Yeah,
nice.
The Bear's
I was
amazing.
like, dude, you watched it, right? The last episode where Richie and Carmi, he's in the freezer, and they just fucking go at each other. Like there's a
Give me
scene,
a thumbs up when you're done.
Put your headsets on. Put them on. This doesn't spoil anything.
I know. I'm just saying.
Listen to it. It's just such a tense scene because one of the guys is trapped in a freezer, and the other guy notices something, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he asks him, "What the fuck did you just say to her?" And the scene goes from 0 to 1,000 to where these guys are separated by a freezer door, just fucking going at it. I mean, every little thing, the deepest, darkest, that they've been holding inside of them, anxiety. And it's such a tense incredible scene. It's probably one of the best season finales I've ever seen in a fucking show besides Breaking Bad, where it's just like, this is so superbly acted. This is incredible.
My wife is binging Shameless right now.
I want to watch that show. The kid from The Bear is in it.
Yeah, and I know as soon as I tell her that he has his own show right now, she's gonna want to watch that, so that I watch it with her.
I would definitely watch it with her it's the first season's only 8 episodes. But I want her really fast moving. Season 2 is actually 10 episodes, but feels shorter because it's good.
I'm waiting for my wife to catch up to the part where I'm at with Shameless, so I could finish watching Shameless with her because I haven't finished the end of it. So I want to watch the rest with her, and then we'll start The Bear. But I'm not telling her yet that he's in his own show right now.
I don't know much about Shameless. I've seen a lot of clips. I know the kid from The Bear is in it. I know the kid from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is in it. I know William H. Macy's the main guy.
The one Chicago. Guy. The one guy that was in Brightburn. What was that?
Brightburn with, is the evil superhero kid movie?
No, the one with the alien, not alien. Who was it? Jamie Foxx, the one where he's like a partner with a fucking alien.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Bright
Netflix
something. It was Bright something. Yeah,
I think it's just called Bright.
Bright. Yeah. So one of the guys that plays in there, he's the like the Russian or something in the van that he's like a cleaner. He's also in Shameless.
Fabian knows it. He says The Bear is so good. It is. The only thing I wish you'd see more in The Bear is I wish they'd actually show the city a little bit more. Besides kind of the stock footage they show of the city, they could be filming it anywhere.
Yeah.
There's a couple scenes where you see them like on the L and walking around, but it's all like River North. There's not much of anything else. And a lot of stock footage.
Well, Shameless filmed a lot of fucking shit in Chicago.
Yeah, I actually really want to watch it because I know a lot of it's on the south side too.
That's what's fun about it is, it's close to the Indiana border. But my wife, she was like, I always thought it was just about people having sex. She goes, but there's actually a story, and she was
doesn't it all center around his alcohol addiction?
It's centered around Frank and his family, and the shit that Frank does that causes these issues.
Yeah, because of his addictions and shit.
But sometimes Frank is just nowhere involved, and it's fucking hilarious. But Frank is the biggest part that's fucking hilarious.
It's definitely on my list, but the thing is, I also want to watch Modern Family, so after we finish Big Bang, I got to choose one or the other.
I think you should do Shameless because Frank is not PC, and that's what you need right now. You need to get off that PC fucking wagon.
Oh, I don't watch.
And Frank is not fucking PC at all.
Say what you want, but I've and like even Big Bang Theory, I like the show. I like Laurie Metcalf's character, but my wife was like, it's funny that they have her playing this Christian character because she's a huge fucking liberal in real life. And I was like, it's not weird. You got to remember this entire character is shitting on Christians.
Yeah.
It is. The entire character is making Christians look like they're all fucking backwater Southern buffoons.
Yeah.
So of course she would love that role.
And even fucking Sheldon doesn't fucking believe that fucking his mom.
He's a man of science.
Yeah.
He's also afraid for Amy to touch his willy, so who fucking can trust him? Yeah, we just got to the episode where Bernadette and what's his face are getting married. They go. Her and Penny go dress shopping without her, and she has a breakdown. And Sheldon comes over and she tries to get him to fuck her, and he's just like, ugh. Which once again, autism. I'm just saying, the whole show is fucking.
Has Amy's character changed at all for you?
Yeah, she's not so monotone.
Right.
She's funnier this season too.
Yeah,
she does get better, especially when she's with the girls.
I wish that's the way they should have kept her. But I love the way Amy Farrah Fowler is always with fucking what's her name?
I haven't watched it, but apparently, her and Sheldon play a fairly substantial role at the end of the Sheldon Kids show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think.
That'd be cool.
I think they actually both make cameos in the last season. I don't know. I don't know what the context is, but I know
as adults, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's the whole thing. Well, I believe the whole show's premise is he's writing his memoir.
Yeah,
and eventually, by the end of the show, it comes back where they show him and her are still together, and he's writing the memoir, and which I think is really neat. I do it, like I said, I do enjoy Big Bang Theory.
I hope he still has the couch.
No, it's in his own home. From what I understand, like from the little
he actually
screenshot
buys
I
a
saw,
home later.
Yeah, from the screenshot I saw, he's like in his study. So it's clearly, years later when they're older, 40s or whatever, how old they are. But they both KG says yes. So yeah, she says they both make a comeback in it, which is I think a cool callback to Big Bang Theory. All right, we are here to review something, and we haven't talked about it at all. Troll Hunter. I'll spearhead this one. This is a Nordic movie. It's filmed in Norway, and it is. I would recommend this is one of those ones, and I always recommend native track. I recommend watching the dub simply because the Troll Hunter himself's voice is a little bit funnier in the dub. May not be as accurate, but it's funnier.
I wish you would have said that ahead of time because I would have watched it that way.
I didn't even think about it. I didn't even know if they had native language on Vudu. I assumed it was just dub. A lot of my old Jackie Chan movies, when you buy them, don't have the native. It's all dubbed, and there's no other choice. Oh, by the way, just right before we'll get off of it, speaking of PC, John Woo's Killers has been remade into a all-black movie.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. The movie that starred Chow Yun-fat and another Asian person, I can't remember the name, is now two black folk. Yep.
So, just recycling stories with different actors.
Well, I guess my question is like, I thought Asians being represented in cinema was a big thing, right?
Yeah.
And now they're getting pushed out in favor of DEI, which is diversity hiring, and it just makes no sense to me. And I can't. I'm sorry, but now this bullshit is attacking martial arts movies and classics like that, and I can't fucking take it. I'm not watching any of it. It's not happening. So we're off of that. But Troll Hunter is this group of college students who it's kind of a mockumentary, kind of a documentary, where they're exploring the deaths of these bears.
Yeah.
And they think it's this guy who's poaching them. And when they get up to him, they, through meeting him and him talking to them and him eventually proving it to him, it's not him killing the bears, it's trolls. And he's hunting said trolls.
And, do you believe in trolls?
And well, that's the movie. And it's, I don't want to ruin much because Alex said this earlier. It's about 45 minutes of nothing. Just kind of talk and, them finally meeting the guy and, that whole game. And then it goes in and it's a really awesome creature film. It's not, I wouldn't call it scary.
Okay, to be fair, it was 37 minutes. I wrote it down, 37 minutes.
Like, it's not scary. I'd say there's almost, there's a big, there's a lot of comedy in it. Like, I don't think it's meant to be a horror movie. I think it's meant to be like a mockumentary.
I got a Blair Witch feel to it because of the whole found footage.
Yeah.
And the way the people dressed in it. So the girl with the fucking skull cap, so it gave me the Blair Witch feel to it.
Well, the weird thing is, when you meet the first troll on that bridge and he just kind of hits the guy and throws it's funny, right? But by the end of the movie, when they're driving and it's a troll that's 200 feet tall or whatever it is, that's where the horror element comes in. But it's a wild movie. I would recommend checking it out if you can. It's a bit of a sleeper hit because it was a foreign movie. It came out in 2010. But if you like monster movies and you're kind of looking for something maybe you've never seen before, it's a good mix of like Blair Witch meets a monster movie, like almost like a Sasquatch movie, really.
So I watched it on, I can't remember if it was Prime or what, but there was no audio track for English. It was native language and it was only subtitled.
I thought I owned it on Vudu.
You do, but I didn't catch it that way. I saw it afterwards that I did it.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember the dubbing track being better for me, because like I watched them both years ago, and this time I just watched the dub track because I remember thinking the Troll Hunter's voice itself, it was just funnier. Like it wasn't so like the native language track. The Troll Hunter is very kind of just dead inside. Just very monotone, and there's really no life to him. And I remember the dub track being a little bit more life to it.
And in his own native language, he sounds kind of like Uncle from like how he talks from Shogun. Like you just like talk like he sounds like Uncle.
He's kind of got that, and that's about it. That's why, if you do watch it, I'd recommend trying to watch the dub track if you can, simply because I do find his particular audio track is just more enjoyable, for me at least. Maybe not everybody else. And as we all know, I am a proponent of, watch the fucking native language track in most everything, but there are certain outliers. For Under Paris, I wouldn't watch it at all. I would just pour gasoline into my eyes if you're thinking about it. And just look up the clips of the shark murder on YouTube.
10 out of 10, don't recommend. Is that how it goes?
It wasn't as bad as The Shed, but that ending, bro. That ending, oh my God, when that ending happened, I was like, I fucking hate this movie. I was pissed off. I was like, if I watched it by myself, so nobody was in the room for me to talk to, but if Jen was in the room, I'd have been like, that fucking piece of fucking shit, fucking ending, motherfucking, like I would have gone off. I hated that ending so bad, dude. And like, I wasn't already digging the movie, but I was kind of feeling okay because you had all that shark violence and then the explosions and the machine guns. And it's like, all right, yeah. And then it's like, what? And you're like,
the way they portrayed the army, shoot first.
Yeah, dude, what is up with that? Like, I thought everybody said that the fucking Americans are just gun-toting pieces of shit. And here they are, 2 boats in a circle, and the one guy's got a pistol, and
they don't even know what they're shooting at. They're just fucking shooting.
And then, by the way, nobody else in the government realizes that there's the bombs there. It takes
they even had it in the news.
It takes the fucking shark lady to be like, no, there's explosives, and they're like, oh fuck it, and you know what I mean? Like,
notice that sniper shooter though.
Yeah, he was a good shot.
Oh yeah.
When he shot and hit it at first, I was like, okay, somebody trained well. He was probably the safest out of all of them.
That water was fucking murky. How did he see it?
He's good, man. He's good.
He must have had that fucking different scope,
But I do find it funny. It was almost like the director was like, we need machine gun fire. We need it. I would have liked to see like an MP5
Let's take a page from the Americans.
Oh, there's a movie I think we should review, and you might call me gay for it. The Family Plan with Mark Wahlberg on Apple TV Plus. Has anybody seen this movie?
I've been wanting to watch that. Yeah, I've been actually wanting to watch that.
Is surprisingly enjoyable.
Is it?
It is cool. Basically not. It's not as good, but it's basically a modern True Lies. It's interesting because you have Apple TV Plus behind it, so there's not a rating. So you expect it to be PG-13. It's not really PG-13. It's got a bunch of fucks in it. There's some pretty good murder in it. I enjoyed it. I watched it on a whim. And yeah, the best way I could say is it's a not as good version of True Lies, but it's done well. It's the type of movie where I'm going to watch again with Jen because I think she'd enjoy it. But I think maybe we should review that at some point because it was surprisingly enjoyable.
Okay.
I thought I was going to watch it and be like, okay, typical bullshit. But it's only about 20 minutes and then it's like, all right, we're going to get right into it, which surprised me. Like, he's family man, something's up. They show a few scenes of like, they go on a first date and then out of nowhere, he gets attacked by an assassin. And then it's on. So it's not bad. At some point we'll review it. I'd like to try to do the Kung Fu episode next week. Wait, what is next week? That would be the 28th. Does anybody have any conflicts? I know you're out the 5th.
Right.
Of July. We'll be off that.
The 28th, I don't have anything at the moment.
Okay. Now, I thought we were going to do... See, here's the problem I have now. Is I really wanted to Kiss of the... Well, no, we were going to do Everybody Picks a Martial Arts Movie.
Oh, yeah.
But I also just bought Boy Kills World. So we got to figure that out. But I would love to do, once again, Kiss of the Dragon. And then you guys pick...
I was going to pick Monkey Man, because I've been wanting to see it.
Oh, fuck, that's right. That's out there. I got to watch that. What would
that was going to be my Kung Fu movie.
I gotta find one that's actually available to watch other than...
I do have quite a few. Now, remember, Steven Seagal, Van Damme movies, those all count.
I know.
Count.
But
I've been really wanting to see Monkey Man, and it's finally out there.
I do have my Kung Fu style movies and martial arts style movies that I like, but it's stuff that you guys have never seen and can't find anywhere right now. So I gotta see what it is.
I mean,
Yeah,
Fabian says he heard Monkey Man wasn't that good. I've heard
because it's more
I've heard
drama.
middle.
It's more drama. I've heard that it's more drama than anything.
I feel like that's always a problem with marketing. Like it's marketed like it's supposed to be John Wick, and I assume it's not gonna be. You know, you got to assume it's just not gonna be.
Yeah, especially with the main actor who it is. He's known for fucking being a character actor. Versus,
is that the same guy that started in Slumdog Millionaire?
Yes.
1 million rubies.
So he's more of a character actor than he is an action star. So this might be his first.
I think it looks cool. I'd like to give it a shot. If you can't pick one, I do have some other suggestions. I'm
gonna look through and see what I'm gonna look through and see what happens.
Oh yeah, but I gotta remember it now. What's the name of the movie with Dolph Lundgren and Brandon Lee? Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Showdown in Little Tokyo, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that movie is fucking awesome. But yeah, so we'll do a martial arts episode. Then we got to do the kids movies with kids not kids movies, but Heavyweights and Major Pain.
That was I was in that one.
Yeah, so we'll figure out what we're doing next on that, and then
we have at least 2 weeks set up right now.
Yeah,
we gotta figure it out with the martial art one.
We'll have one next week, and then we'll be off a week, and then we'll come back.
Yeah, the July 5th. My kid's birthday is the day before, and we're gonna actually go away after that. So that's the reason why we're gonna miss it. No, he's
like we're gonna go away.
We're gonna disappear for the weekend. You know, get away for the weekend.
Has anybody tried Starbucks' new refresher drink with the boba?
Yes, I did.
Dude, it's so fucking sweet though.
I didn't do the fucking the oat milk in it, but I like the fucking lemonade.
Oh no,
it is sweet. The one
I got, I don't like any of the milk in it. I just do the base, but it's so sweet.
Yeah, it is, but it's fucking delicious.
I will say
I just drink coffee. That's it.
I will say the
coffee.
cups are interesting.
Yeah. With the big ass fucking straw.
Yeah. I gotta say
it's a boba straw. It's a boba
working
straw.
With my Dr. Pepper Zero. But I prefer the other one, the strawberry acai, because if you get half lemonade with the strawberry acai, not nearly as sweet as that fucking berry one was, dude.
My oldest likes the fucking strawberry acai one, but she also likes this new one with the berry blend thing. But we've been to like different locations. They make them very different. Some locations make it where it's not that sweet, and some are just fucking super sweet.
I live in a.
They have to follow a fucking.
I live in a part of town, black, and
where diabetes is.
What they don't tell you about living in a black neighborhood, and it's true. Sorry, black people love sugar.
Sugar water.
You know how fucking hard it is to find in any gas station anything that doesn't have sugar? They have literally every single Lipton Brisk flavor you can think of, except zero sugar.
Have you ever seen that video of that one guy telling his son to make fucking Kool-Aid, and the kid pours like fucking 3 cups of fucking sugar?
Well, my mom
and he's
was
like,
the type,
"What the fuck is my kid doing here?"
My mom was the type, she would take 2 packets, put it in an old milk jug, fill it with water, and then do 2 cups of sugar.
Because that's what it tells you to do. That's what the instructions tell you to do.
I'll tell you right now, I had the Starbucks today because I haven't
one cup per packet.
I haven't had sugar in a while, and I decided to treat myself, and it was a mistake because it was far too sweet. But I'll tell you right now, every now and then I sit there and I think, boy, my gallon of watermelon cherry sounds fucking good right now, man. Like, I haven't had Kool-Aid in years, but watermelon cherry used to be my game.
The very first time I fucking got fucking stoned out of my fucking mind, I made Kool-Aid. And that's how we made it. 2 cups of fucking sugar for two packages.
Yeah.
For the thing. So I did that, and then we were fucking drinking fucking Kool-Aid and fucking eating crackers. And I was dipping my crackers in my fucking Kool-Aid.
Think about how terrible that is, though. 2 cups of sugar per gallon of flavor water.
But as fucking high as I was for my first time, I didn't care.
I didn't care when I was a kid. I fucking gobbled it up. Give me some ice, some watermelon. She would make other flavors because she would babysit, and the kids would. I'd be like, "Fuck you, man!"
It was
all about that watermelon cherry.
It was something called Cool Water too that everybody got into after, like it was like a Cool Water flavor or some shit.
Oh yeah, KG Kool-Aid is the original diabetes.
Yeah,
like that.
That's the reason why it started.
That and fucking orange juice.
Wilfred Brimley used to fucking drink that at the beginning of his life.
Yeah, I like a gallon of Kool-Aid every day. Grapes my flavor. You sure?
I'm
I also
Wilfred
like
Brimley.
Fruit Punch.
If you're seeing me, I'm dead because of diabetes.
And then my
Isn't that
wife,
what his commercial said?
no, he was his later commercials were, I have
I'm
diabetes.
dead.
I get my testing supplies and my blah 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 from this place, and it's like, look, dude, you spent your whole fucking life being a fat piece of shit sugar eater, and now that you're old and your diabetes is out of control, you're trying to tell me how to live my life? You fuck.
We should have a diabetes episode where we watch Cocoon. Because Wilford Brimley's in there.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
The only Wilford Brimley movie I give a shit about is Hard Target, when he's playing a fake Cajun.
There's another one that he's in too, where it's like an action fucking movie where he has a kid that he has a grandchild or something like that.
He's got such a fake Cajun accent in that movie where it's like Van Damme comes and he's like, "Oh, look at it over here," and that's just how he talks the whole time. Come on over here to the barn, and it's like, Mister, you need some sugar. You're not talking right. Maybe your insulin's a little low. Maybe,
you need a Snickers.
Yeah, you're not talking anymore. And he eats a Snickers. Thanks, I feel much better. Yeah, but I was figuring something was a little low.
Now let me tell you about my diabetes medicine.
Yeah, I'm gonna go shoot up some insulin in my eyeball. Give me a second. China apparently has had a breakthrough where they're curing people of diabetes. Apparently, there was an 11-week trial where people who took the drug are no longer dependent on insulin.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think it's type 1 diabetes too.
And it has nothing to do with their kidneys or anything. It's not going to fuck with their
whatever they're. Yeah. I mean, whatever wonder drug they're pumping into them. I don't know. Might fucking cut their lifespan by 30 years. But
yeah.
Oh, we put COVID inside of it, but it's a good COVID. It's the COVID we were trying to develop when we accidentally released the poison gas cloud that everybody got.
We gave you the bats instead.
I'm sorry that the review of Troll Hunter's been lackluster. It's one of those movies where we explain the plot. I'd love for you guys to seek it out and watch it.
If you watch it the way Matt said about the dubbing, that it might be different. But I was watching it fucking with the native language. 37 minutes. I actually started it over 3, 4, 5 times because I was missing shit and because I was fucking bored as fuck. But
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. When you tell me you start a movie over 3, 4, 5 times, that's on you too, brother. Like once, twice, but 3, 4, 5 times, that's your ADD kicking in.
It was the fucking acting that because I was watching in the native language with fucking reading subtitles.
Yeah, that's one of the few movies
it kept putting me in a snore fucking mode. You know?
I'd recommend. I mean, first off, it is a slow beginning, but that's one of the few movies where I would recommend the dubbing.
But at 37 mark, that's when you see the first fucking troll, and that's where it does pick up. And I was all invested from there, and I actually did like it afterwards. I just hated the first fucking 37 minutes of it.
Does it look like I'm dead?
Let's give these people a Chicago Dog review video.
Say hi to your wife for me.
Oh, that's rude. Say hi to your mom. Well, right now, see, I have to be extra nice because my little Minnie, she got spayed.
Oh.
So she's got her. Jen bought her this really cute. It's the basically the Homer Simpson pink donut as her cone, and she's just sitting there all drugged up, trying to get comfortable. She's got this big fucking Simpsons donut around her collar. I feel so bad for her. And then I looked at her and I saw how much of her stomach they shaved. And I just felt terrible. Like I know they have to, but like
But it's not a big scar, is it? Like the incision.
No, her incision. I think the line is about this big.
But they how like a lot like
no, it's
half
only
in
about,
half.
It's only about that.
No, but I'm talking about like what they shaved. Was it like a half?
Oh no,
dude!
They shaved all her entire belly. And they shaved up by her legs. Like they shaved.
That's for the IV. That's for the IV.
No. She had that, but on her tummy, they shaved all around the incision and then even up by the legs. where the stomach went upward, which they probably
Uh-huh.
had to. I'm not talking shit about it, but it's just sad because it's, she's got such a beautiful black coat on her, and it'll grow
Yeah.
back. But I go through this. This is the third dog I've gone through this with, where I remember Yoshi, we got him neutered.
But you never had a female though.
No, yeah, maybe that's why I'm a little extra soft on her, and she's such a sweetie pie. Like last night, she jumped up in my lap, which she never does, and just kind of wanted to hang out and cuddle. And the problem is she's a 45-pound dog, which I'm fine with it. I'm a big dude, but she never does that, and she's just been such a sweetie. So I see her, and it's like, oh, Belle, they shaved all of your belly, and we looked at her incision, and so it's extra soft with her right now.
If it wasn't at Jen's fucking job, I'd go over there and punch them.
No. I'm sure they did a great job. I'm sure they shaved what they had to. It's just when you see it, it's like, oh, they shaved so much. But it'll grow back.
Jen was the one in charge of shaving. Zing.
No, I think Jen would be like Jen is better than I am with these things, but I think she would have been worse with it if she had to sit there and
if
watch.
It's her own dog, yeah.
I think if
I gotcha.
I could sit there and watch it happen, and I think if she had to, it'd be a little different. Like with Yoshi was funny because we took him to Paws, because Paws, if you have a pit bull, does him for dirt cheap. So we took him to Paws, and we went to go pick him up because you drop him off and they do what they do, and then they're like, all right, you can come pick him up at this time. So we go to pick him up, and I remember, it's this depressing hallway with cages full of dogs, and he's just laying in his cage, and I go, Yoshi, and he looks up at me like, what the fuck have you done to me? Like he was mad.
Did his tail move at least?
Well, at first, no, he was like pissed off at me, and then I was like, buddy, and so then the tail wags, and it's like, then he's got this fucking plastic cone on, and as he walks with his tight corridor, he's just hitting both sides of the fucking wall with it. I've gone through it with him, Link, and Minnie now, and I just feel bad because you see how much they shaved her, and Jen's home Monday, so we'll be watching her all weekend to make sure she's okay. So far, she's doing good. She's going to the bathroom, she's eating, so not too worried about her. But there's always those nerves. You never know. I mean, it's the same thing of when you got somebody else going into the hospital for even a small procedure. You never know.
When our dog went in for her teeth to be cleaned, she had a little bit of a reaction to the anesthesia. So when she came home, she kept throwing herself on the couch like that.
Oh yeah, Minnie was pretty fucked up.
And then she just was like, and then you would literally hear the dog going, "Argh," and I was like, oh, I feel so bad.
So she wasn't doing that, but we put her in the chair, and she just kind of like, okay, and fell over to her side, and just kind of laid there. Yeah, just was like, all right, whatever.
And Diva did also throw up once, but she was good after that.
Yeah, I think she's sleeping on the couch. I gotta check on her when we're all done. All right, I'll give the score on this one first. I really like this movie. I'm not going to blow out the score. Like, if we were talking old school, Matt watched this nostalgia, it'd be an 8.5. But realistically, I think this is a solid 7. I think it's a solid monster movie, an interesting mockumentary style. And I honestly don't know how it didn't get remade by the Americans. This seems like one of those movies that they would have absolutely remade. You know what I mean? Like they did with Let the Right One In. How they remade that. I'm
Ringu.
Surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised this one didn't get scooped up and some asshole Hollywood guy was like, let's remake it with, this famous star in it. But I'm glad they haven't.
But let's put some bad CGI in it, okay? Because this was made in 2011. This is in 2011, too.
For when this was made, the CGI isn't terrible.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. It looked better than fucking, what was that one TV show that we did?
And Kingdom?
Yes.
Oh, you're talking the difference between the 90s and...
I know, but it looked way fucking better of creating a troll with... They were using realistic,
Oh,
makeup.
Come on, Ed O'Neill, it was sucking Alf.
I know, but they were using realistic makeup versus, these kind of, CGI trolls that they were doing, so...
Yeah, I thought the CGI, even now, like, it's a little cheesy, but it's not that badly done.
I'll go. This is a 9 for me, actually. And I do score it that high because the fact that it is a found footage, you're usually used to found footages falling into that horror trope, especially with
camera.
Blair Witch. Yeah, and this took that style and turned it into something that's very different, because this is not a horror movie.
No,
By all means,
it's not, and I think the movie wants you to know that from the
Yeah.
very minute
Yeah.
you see that first troll and he's in his troll outfit and the troll just boom and knocks him off
Yeah.
the bridge. I think that very first scene is telling you like it's not a scary movie, guys. Come on, we're having fun here.
Well, that's actually the second troll, the one on the bridge.
Yeah,
The first one is the one in the
three-headed
woods.
one, yeah.
Yeah, the 3-headed one,
But-
which
but
that
I
was
enjoyed
pretty
it.
fucking cool. It was
I
funny, but
enjoyed
it was
it
cool.
for what it was. The lore, the
They did have a lot of lure that they kept.
how he
fucking
talks
the-
about all the little things he uses.
the little
yeah,
things, yeah. The way
Yeah.
the society is secretive. The guy kept threatening him, like, you're not going to keep that tape. Like it had all the little right things,
Yeah.
but put in found footage.
Yeah.
And I think it did it so well for what it was. Like,
Yeah.
if this was just another horror movie, yeah, I'd score it like a 7 or,
yeah.
or you know what I mean?
Maybe I need.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go 8. You're right. I was trying to be more. I was trying to be like so because I try to keep any sort of credibility, so people
Yeah.
can't go, oh yeah, you always give these movies high reviews because I just shit on Under
Yeah.
Paris. But yeah, I am gonna bump mine up to an 8, thinking about how much I do love this movie in general. You're right.
And it's not that, like I said, for what it was. It's a non-horror, found footage movie about trolls
Dark
in a
comedy
mockumentary.
in
Yeah,
And there was
other
also
ways, too.
comedy, but like you're saying,
It's
they
very
actually
different.
explain a lot of shit about trolls. There was a lot of facts that they did in this fucking hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That they gave you fucking so much lure about trolls.
And I will agree with Alex. The beginning is slow, but I always gave it a pass because it is the found footage formula, and found
That's why-
footage formulas are
Agree.
always slow to start.
That's why I said
Yeah.
I'm okay with the movie afterward, man. But yeah, at the beginning it was a big fucking slog for me. I had to do it a couple times.
Yeah,
But
they're
if-
usually slower, but 30 minutes in is actually not bad for a found footage. And
Yeah.
and to Alex and Matt's point, once you hit that point, it's just a roller coaster ride. It does not
Yeah.
stop.
and like it's one of those movies that it just continues to grow. Like you see the original the
Mhm.
3-headed one, then you see the bridge one, and from there they just get bigger and nastier looking. Like
Then the farting
builds.
ones, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it builds in a great way. That's why I don't know how we never reviewed this movie. I've loved it for years,
They
and I
they
figure
give
we're doing monster movies. Let's do it.
they give you 4 fucking different versions of trolls that they show you, but there's
Yeah.
still other ones that you don't fucking see.
You know what I
Mhm.
would? You know what I kind of want
That
to
would-
do, and I don't
that
know
would
if
be
I'd
cool.
be able to do it. Is splice a trailer for Troll Hunter, but have Ernest in it. You know, like show the tree, the 3-headed tree troll, and then show him going ee. You know, some shit like
But
that.
also the 2 guys that are always in his movies with him, the guy with the no jaw or whatever, the no teeth, when he does the eyes thing, when he's looking at the deer on the ceiling.
You got to
I
incorporate
recently
something about
watched
milk.
Ernest Scared
Put those two
Stupid,
guys.
and it is gold. That movie is gold.
It still you know what other movie still holds up? Believe it or
That
not,
requires a
is
troll.
fucking Three Ninjas.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Somehow Three Ninjas still fucking holds up, dude. It's still awesome. Somehow I went through it the other day. I was bored and I was like, I'm gonna watch this. Everything from the goofiness to the end of the movie when Grandpapa fights the serious ninja dude,
Yeah.
like it still fucking holds up. It's very Karate Kid in its own method. Alex, what do you give it besides a swig?
I was gonna say 8 before you even said it, so you said it, so I'm gonna go with you as well. It's an 8 for me.
Copycat.
But like I said, man, the first fucking 30-something minutes of the movie, it was a big fucking slog, but when it hit past that point, when it started giving you all the stuff, and then they started feeding you lure, and they started doing everything, it really started to fucking get me into it, and I loved it.
I will say within that first 37 minutes, though, you do get lore from him as he's explaining things to them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but you also start fucking hating people at the beginning. So I didn't like the fucking cameraman. I didn't like Thomas, the fucking the newscaster guy.
I will say the college kids that they have that are doing the documentary itself are my least favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, you don't see the cameraman at all, but you hear him talk, and the shit that he says, it's like fuck you, man. Like
Once again, I like the dubbed version. This is one of those movies
Yeah.
where I should have said something. I recommend the dubbed version. I forgot you had never seen it. I know Giovanni had.
I've never seen it.
But there's
But,
there's movies you haven't seen, like you haven't seen Kiss of the Dragon, which I find weird.
I've seen parts of it when we were talking about it. I've seen parts of it, but I've never watched the whole thing.
I still haven't watched it. I was gonna, but I think tonight I might throw on Boy Kills World.
I want to see that, man. Monkey Man, I want to see. Isn't he in a? Oh no, it's not out yet. That Guy Ritchie one that we were talking about. That's not out yet, right?
You guys are still looking for it.
It's in digital, but it's under that $25 digital. Right.
Oh hell no! Yeah, no.
The
That's just crazy.
Ungentlemanly Warfare, or whatever it is.
Yeah, something like that.
With Superman, which he is rumored to be coming to Marvel in some capacity.
Who is?
Henry Cavill.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully he does, because he doesn't fuck around when it comes to
His characters that he does.
following traditional stories. Like, he was supposed to be in Warhammer, and they were going to change it up, and he's like, "Fuck you, I'm gone."
Well, see, I think he's actually still in it because he told them, like, I'm not making this movie unless I have creative something oversight on it.
Oh,
So
good. I hope they give it to him.
I think he's still involved, and I think he's got a lot of creative input in it.
Because man, those are the people you want to trust when they're into what they're making.
Yeah,
they have a solid hold.
Well, look at like the original.
They're better creative.
The original interviews for The Witcher, when he talks about it and everything, and then he leaves the show, and it's all like, "Oh, he left the show," and it's like, no, he left the show because you strayed so far away from the fucking source material and you shit on it. And then you, like, the writer's like, "Oh, it was a constant battle with him." Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's fighting for what I care about, which is the integrity of the fucking story and lore.
He's a real fan trying to make a good fucking show.
And it goes to show you, now that he's gone, now they're trying to be like, "Oh no, we're trying to follow the story as closely as." No, you fucked it up. Like, you are beyond.
Yeah, you fucked it up so bad that one of the hottest actors in Hollywood left your show.
Yeah.
The guy who made your show at the beginning.
Henry Cavill is hotter than your show. Sorry. Mm-hmm. And you lost him to Miley Cyrus's ex-dick. Way to go. Yeah, so we got to figure out the next week, and then we'll take a week off, and we'll figure out what we want to do on the next weeks after that, because we've got we have stuff we know we want to do. Part of me is wondering if next week, if we reconfigure the Kung Fu episode for the next episode or an episode later on, and we do Boy Kills World and Monkey Man.
For next week?
I feel like, for next week, I feel like that would make sense because they're both newer. By the way, I just looked and I'm pretty sure that Ungentlemanly Warfare movie's on sale for $15. So I got to give that some consideration, because then that would open us up to be able to do the Guy Ritchie movie, which I noticed that The Covenant, his military war movie about Jake Gyllenhaal has a translator who basically saves his life. That's on Prime, and then The Gentleman is on Netflix, which is the one I know we wanted to pair it with. I just feel like he's got so much shit out there right now, we should maybe do 3 Guy Ritchie movies. Which is weird, because
they're all fairly new.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, is we wouldn't even be including like Snatch or Lock, Stock. We know those are classics. No. These would be new Guy Ritchie.
All new stuff.
2 other movies we should review, maybe, that I don't think we ever did, is the Kingsman movies.
Oh, dude, those are, yes.
There's a lot of stuff out there that we, for whatever reason, never touched, that I want to get to. A lot of fun movies that, maybe aren't new or relevant, but...
a different Samuel L. Jackson character.
Yeah, he was. I liked him in that one, to be honest with you.
But the Kingsman has some of the most amazing, like, filmed footage shots,
action sequences
I've ever seen ever.
I remember John Wick came out the week before the Kingsman, and I saw it in theaters, and I walked out of that theater and I go, there is not going to be another movie this year that competes with this. And then I went to the theater next week and watched the Kingsman, and I walked out of that going, holy fuck, that church scene might have been the best action fucking scene I've ever seen.
That church scene is amazing.
The mix of the choreography. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we do the Kingsman 1 in Argyle, because that's Matthew Vaughn.
Oh, that is? Yeah.
That's his newest one that was, I think Henry Cavill's in it, and it's on Apple TV Plus, I believe. So maybe We do.
I'll
we
have
do
to
a
get
little,
your password.
little old, little new. Yeah, I got to get you relogged into the Apple because I buy a lot of stuff on Apple. Because I do.
You can do what I do and rent it.
Yeah, I honestly,
I
don't
could
have a
also borrow
VPN
your
right
VPN.
All I do is when I did have a VPN, I would just set it to Epstein's Island so they wouldn't check on me.
That's
That's how
good for
you do
you.
it. Set it to Epstein's Island and they just ignore you. You do whatever you want. I actually want to get a VPN and then log into a Texas server and then try to log into Pornhub just to see what it says. Because Victor, who lives in Texas, sent me. It's literally like a fucking couple pages of shit that they put out there.
What do you mean? Like a couple pages? What do you mean?
No audio, Jobo. You're muted.
Oh, yeah, you muted.
I elbowed the button.
There you go.
My wife, we were talking about it, and she's like, hey, did you know in Pornhub in certain states you have to do your ID? And I'm like, no shit. She's like, you should check it out. So I'm in the car and I'm like, VPN. I go and yeah, dude, it's pages, and then they want a copy of your ID, and it's like, what?
It's pretty,
so is that what you mean by pages? You have to go through stuff. You have to go through like
they're so for Texas you can't access it at all. They've banned Texas. Yeah. And there's there's like a 2-page summary of them basically shitting on Texas for banning it.
So if you're in Texas, then you log in.
So you can view it and see what it says.
Yeah, it pops up.
Yeah, okay. You can't actually log into Pornhub in Texas anymore.
That's fucking weird.
Well, they're one of the states. They're one of the states that requires the ID. Which I got to be honest with you, that's theocratic bullshit that's running that show, which is a little frustrating. Although I don't think porn is healthy necessarily, but still.
I don't think you should have to prove who you. I don't know. Whatever.
No, I think porn is one of those things where you should not have to show an ID to view it.
Yeah, it's just the whole lock. That's what we were looking at. The whole like lockdown and the whole. It's weird, man. It's really weird.
It almost makes you miss video stores that had the behind the curtains at this point.
The curtains.
You know what I mean? Like
or the boxes with the little black card over it, and you can just see the name at the top.
You guys remember Fry's?
Fry's Electronics?
Yeah. Okay. When you would go into Fry's Electronics, Fry's used to have a beautiful, gigantic Blu-ray selection. But right in the beginning, and it was roped off, was the 18 and over section. And, you would see the Blu-rays and they would all have those placards in front of it. So you couldn't see the images. I kind of miss walking into like a Fry's and seeing that.
There was one place where I did go to over by what's called the theater on Lincoln. What's it called? The $5 place over there. Anyway, I went to this little video store there, and the guy, I knew him. He had his whole little like cubby, and it was literally like a room about as big as this, and he had a curtain, and you have to go in there and you would find your little videos, and you would bring it up to him and say, hey, I want to rent this. And I went there just to see what it's like because I've never seen one in any place.
I got to be honest with you, though. There is something nice about if you want to look at porn, just go into a porn site instead of going to the shady fucking back room, though.
Yeah, it's
like it's a double-edged sword, like the good old days, quote unquote. But then it's like it's so much nicer if you want to jerk off to log in to go to a website instead of going to the video store, go into the back room that probably smells a little weird,
And then when you have to check it out, that guy knows what you're fucking taking out to read. Watch it. He goes, "Hey, by the way, when you get to 24 minutes, Mark, right there, okay,
somebody's an ass man." Like, fuck you, just put it in the bag. Yes, weird. I like asses. You don't need to critique.
Can you do me a favor, not judge me, just fucking put it?
Right? Let's go. Can we get placards in front of these so you don't know what the fuck I'm renting, please?
Just scan it. Let's go.
Oh, I forgot the YouTuber's name. But he was doing like video reviews, like where he reviews different videos, and he's reviewing this guy who goes to different sex shops and kind of reviews their setup. And he walks into one, and they have the cassettes and the DVDs and shit, but they all have the black thing in front of them, and he's like, "Huh." So he's talking to the owner of the store. He's like, "What's that about?" And it was like, well, some people find it uncomfortable. And he's looking around, there's just like dildos and like,
right?
And you're like, where's the logic? Like,
that's not uncomfortable.
Well, here's the thing: is I can go into a Spencer's Gifts and it's like, oh, look at these stickers and mugs and dildos. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like It's a weird, like going into a Spencer's is weird because the front half of the shop is innocent. Oh, here's shot glasses and all this, t-shirts and blankets. And then it's like you walk a couple feet further and it's dildos and lingerie and all the fucking sex shit.
And it's not even roped off. It's just there.
No. Yeah, it's just there. Next to the Slipknot merch.
When I first turned 21, a group of my friends and we drove out to Kenosha, Wisconsin, at a little fucking shop over there to buy whippets because that's what we were into at the time, which is fucking cartridges,
nitrous. Yep,
nitrous. So we went there to go get that, and as we're in the store, I'm looking around and I see these videos, and I'm like, oh, look at these are porn videos, and they're homemade videos, and I'm going through, and I was dating a girl at the time, and I looked through and I was like, hey, that's my fucking girlfriend's baby's godfather. And he's sitting there on the couch, with another girl. And then I look at the next one. I was like, here he is again. He had like 4 different videos.
I'm going to put it this way. If you're at a shop that is selling homemade porn, that's your fault. Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, well, this is my first time there, and that was also the last time I was there.
If I saw that and I recognized somebody, never gonna bye.
I text him like fucking 2 days later, and I was like, hey,
of it.
I was in Kenosha and I saw this, and I was like, there was a green couch, and he goes, what? He's like, how did you see that? He's like, where were you at? And I was like, I was in Kenosha. He goes, don't tell her, please. He was telling me not to tell my girlfriend. Don't tell her. And I was like, all right, well, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, he's going, all right.
Your videos are out there.
He's going, yeah, no problem. He's already told her. Like he told her twice. She's well informed. All right. This was a long one, everybody. I apologize about the tangents and it being a little bit longer. I hope you enjoyed it. We're out of here for the week. Next week, I think Monkey Man Boy Kills World. That makes sense.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
we'll do that next week. We'll take the July 4th weekend off, as all of you should too. Enjoy the fucking weekend with your families. Like it is as simple as that. Alex is going camping. He's going to be with the fam. Even if like my wife and I, we sit in the same room on our PCs separate. It's still be with the people you love. You know what I mean? Take some time to be with the people you love. I know I push hard and I want to get a episode out weekly on this thing. But be with the people you love. I think none of it matters if you don't.
They're not going to be there forever.
Yeah, and if you don't have people you love, I would hope that at some point you do get people you love in your life.
Be with the pet you love.
If
you have pets.
In my life lately, I've been trying to round out the hard edges, if that makes any sense. I've been trying to do away with the anger and
be less abrasive.
Well, I'm always going to be abrasive. I think that's just my personality. You say abrasive, I call it being upfront. See, I'd rather be upfront and you will know exactly where you fucking stand with me than ever lie to your face. Like, you may not like me for my opinion. You may be mad at me because I told you a harsh truth. But one thing you'll know is I've never fucking lied to you. And lately I've been trying to curb something. I'm trying to allow maybe a little bit more empathy and a little bit more of that shit into my heart. Not easy, because I do not like humanity in the whole. But I've been trying. So take July 4th weekend, be with the family, enjoy it, have fun, be safe. I don't think we'll be doing anything because poor Yosh is fucking terrified of fireworks, and that's going to be a rough weekend for him. I mean, shit. On the south side, you've got people popping off fireworks in March for some fucking reason. So it's going to be
gunfire.
Gunfire I can easily identify. That's the thing is we like to play that game of gunshots or fireworks. Those are fireworks. I thought maybe 9mm, but it's definitely firework. Throw a quarter into the jar, I win. But yeah, so next week will be Monkey Man and Boy Who Kills World, and then we'll take the week off, be with your family, enjoy, and then we'll be back next week with we'll figure that out. It's either going to be the Major Pain episode, or we'll figure out the Kung Fu episode. We also do have to schedule a disaster movie episode, which I think is going to be another one of those. Everybody choose what we're doing. Like we each get a choice on it. We'll just do it that way. With that said, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you guys next week. I will see you guys this upcoming week, starting Monday. Tuesday, we'll have a really fun game on the stream for you guys. It's a game called Unchained. And I'm pretty sure it's going to test our friendships. But that's okay. So we'll be running that this week on Twitch. Remember, check me out, twitch.tv/nerditude. And other than that, everybody have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and be safe, right?
Yes.
All right, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.